LTV Action Sports is brought to you in part through the generous support of these Leominster sponsors. MP Crowley Company Incorporated, www.mpcrowleyinc.com.
From Adams Memorial Field at Central One Federal Credit Union Stadium on the campus of Shrewsbury High School. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another week of high school football here on RFM Audio and with our partners at Leominster TV. We say good evening to you as well as we get ready for a Week 8 matchup to close out the regular season of this 2022 campaign. The 6-1 Leominster High School Blue Devils roll in to play the 4-3 Shrewsbury High School Colonials, but don't read too much into that record of 4-3 from Shrewsbury. We'll set the table on more of that as we get closer and closer to kickoff. We're going to have a trip inside the headset coming up in a matter of moments with Leominster High School head coach Devin Gates. We'll also have the starting lineups in the moments to come as well. Todd Robbins, Bill Thomas, Kate Robbins back at RFM HQ. Bradley Bedard bringing you the pictures tonight high atop the town of Shrewsbury here on this elevated campus here at Shrewsbury High School. We're getting closer and closer to the kickoff of Leominster and Shrewsbury. Before I bring you inside the headset, the note that I was making on that 4-3 Shrewsbury record, note a few of these losses against some of the best teams that Eastern Mass and Central Mass has to offer. A Week 1 loss by a 34-6 score to an Andover team, a power in their own division. A 34-12 loss back on October the 7th at Walpole, another power in their proverbial division. And then literally the top team in Division 4 on the road, a loss at Grafton for this Shrewsbury team, a 13-12 loss in Week 6 action. Shrewsbury bounces back with a 40-13 win in Week 7 action at Shepherd Hill. Meanwhile, for Leominster, they're coming off that emotional win, a 48-27 victory over Wachusett 1 week ago. 2 wins in a row since their last loss, their only loss of the season, which was back on Friday night, October the 7th, a 42-20 loss at Peabody. But there's been a lot of life that has progressed between then and now. And of course, I'm referring to the tragic loss in the Leominster community of Ricky White, former Leominster High School Blue Devil and a former LYF coach. This Blue Devil team, certainly, the hearts are obviously heavy. The emotion is hanging in the air down on the sideline, and you'll hear that in Leominster High School head coach Devin Gates' voice coming up in a matter of moments as well, and that certainly is going to play a part in this football game. We will see how that all stitches together into the beginning of this one as well. We were also alerted, and we're going to get more information on this early on before kickoff, but the Shrewsbury community also dealing with loss here tonight as well. There will be an honor for both communities' losses prior to kickoff. We'll pick that up with our action as we get closer and closer to kickoff on that one. But moments ago, I was down on the field. I went inside the headset with Leominster High School head coach Devin Gates for this Week 8 action. Leominster and Shrewsbury coming up. Week 8 action inside the headset with Leominster High School head coach Devin Gates down on Adams Memorial Field tonight here high above the town of Shrewsbury tonight. Coach, it's Leominster and Shrewsbury coming up at the top of the hour, and it has been an interesting week across the board. So many things. You're bouncing back off of a 48-27 win over Wachusett. That's the football side of things, and then there is the life stories that progress as well. We talked a little bit about it on the Coach's Corner earlier this week, and with the tragic death of Ricky White from the extended Leominster football family, part of that LYF program, and certainly a former Blue Devil as well. But the part that I want to talk about tonight, aside from honoring his memory, is what I think is a very cool opportunity here tonight, where Ricky Encarnacion, we haven't mentioned this yet on the broadcast, he will switch jerseys tonight. Ricky will wear number 7, which was Ricky White's number when he played here at Leominster, and Memi Elias will switch and take jersey number 0 tonight.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, it's a great gesture by Ricky, and Ricky, it's been around Coach Ricky White for a while through flag football, not so much through youth football, but the two got very close. So, Rick's idea to go out and honor him that way, I thought was very, very touching. It's been an emotional week for everybody, and we've talked about, one of our main focuses or one of our expectations is to always be in the moment. So that's been challenged this week. So, but I think the guys know that what's at stake and what's in front of them here, and I think we're going to be ready to go out and meet the challenge here. Again, tough week, but the guys are ready to get out there.
You talk about the unique part of it, of course, and we talk about the legacy all the time, right? That you're continuing a legacy, as part of this program. But when you have that opportunity to recognize that, not only was it a death within the football family, but that the right thing to do would be to acknowledge that and wear a jersey tonight. It's just an incredibly mature decision on Ricky's part.
A mature decision by a mature, thoughtful young man, and we're just lucky that we can be around him. He's just really a stellar person, and he's got his fingerprints all over this team in terms of his mentality, his personality, his empathy. So we're just we love him, and we're happy to have him here.
So, Coach, tonight it is Shrewsbury and Leominster coming up, and we've talked about it. The Shrewsbury team, it's a power football team. They are going to want to pound the ball, and I thought, interestingly today, the final note from defensive coordinator Dennis Manoni to your defensive team talked about number 14, TJ Welch, the quarterback who is this bruising back. Stop 14, and all of a sudden, Shrewsbury's going to come up with a different offensive plan.
A lot easier said than done. The kid's a tough kid, and he's got a huge lineup in front of him. But really, if we can, if we can slow that down, we're going to be in a really good position. I think their game plan is going to want to be to grind it out there, make us throw everything short to take time off the clock too, and limit explosive plays. And this is a good coaching staff, and they're going to have a plan to do it. So we're going to be able to adjust in game to what we want to do, and make sure that we are, taking advantage of whatever they're giving up. Because I think with our weapons, with the run game, pass game, I think it's a real tough thing to do to put a stop to all facets of our offense.
It's certainly much like we've talked about in weeks past when they can choose, different priorities. Okay, we're going to take away this, but it's sort of at some point you're going to say, well, you can't take away everything unless you decide to go 11 on 11 man up, which is a very unlikely choice. So it's a question of which offensive piece do they take. And one of the things I think your offense has done really well this year is take advantage of what the defense is giving them. If they're giving you short, you take short, or you run the football. If your opportunity is long, you can find it down the field as well.
Yeah, a lot of our plays are designed that way. It gives you a second or third option in the play, if we get a look that's not advantageous to the primary call. So we're going to have to really take our time and do that tonight if we want to. It's not something that we can just go out there and think we can go 3 and out and then just go back out there and make up for it again. The time, this is more like, you think of it like a Shepherd Hill game where they're going to go on these 6-minute drives. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but that's obviously going to be their goal, I think. So we really got to make the most out of our plays, whether it be chunks, just take what they're giving us underneath, be patient, and get within striking distance, because then when the field's not so long and you have a lot shorter of a field to defend, I think that that's advantageous to us.
This facility has been quirky over the last decade or so for Leominster football teams, and maybe for any opposition that comes in here. It's just something about the field, the location, the way that the field responds to varying weather patterns. All of a sudden, we can go from a game that is very much vertical to a game that has to be very much played on the ground as well.
Yeah, and thankfully we don't have those conditions tonight. So, a little brisk, but this is football at the end of October in Massachusetts, and it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful night. Our guys are ready. We've practiced in some weather this week, so we're just excited to get going here. I hate the pregame stuff because I'm just itching to get back out there. So, and the guys feel the same way too.
And the opportunity comes up at the top of the hour. It's Leominster and Shrewsbury coming up. Coach, your key to victory tonight.
To be clear, I don't hate your pregame stuff. I hate how long pregames takes. Just to be clear, so our viewers at home know that I'm not, throwing shade at you at all. We gotta finish off our drives. We can't afford to take 5-6 minutes off the clock or something like that and then not put points on the board. So we need to be able to finish our drives. Offensively, we need to limit explosive plays on special teams, and we need to contain 14 on defense. If we do that, we'll be in really good shape.
All right, Coach, best of luck.
Thanks, Todd.
Coach was worried, Bill Thomas, that I thought that he was worried about our pregame festivities. Not at all. Not at all. But always worth a laugh down on the field inside the headset with Leominster High School head coach Devin Gates. Very funny.
I thought it was funny. He was quick to clarify that with a laugh, of course. But we know how you guys love getting together for Coach's Corner just to to set up the coming football game, talk about what happened the prior week. But Devin Gates, Coach Gates, always a lot of fun.
And you hear about an hour of our conversation on Monday nights, but those conversations go a lot longer than the hour that you hear out over the air as well.
And he talked about it. He's ramped up tonight. Yeah, he knows he's got an obligation, but he wants to play the game. Monday night, he's had a chance to decompress, think about it, put a little thought into the coming weekend, and have more of a controlled conversation. I think he was talking about as fast as he could, as quick as he could to get the answers to the questions so he can get back to his pregame preparation because he wants to get through this smoothly and seamlessly, and then let's get to the kickoff.
And let's move on to other things ahead. Let's get to the starting lineups for tonight's action. Leominster and Shrewsbury coming up, and let's start in their own voices. Let's start with the Leominster 4-3 defense.
John Ascabi, 56, senior, D-end, captain.
Giovanni Roman, 55, senior, defensive line.
Logan Arcee, number 54, senior, D-tackle.
Down my right, number 52, senior, defensive line.
Mackay Simpson-Newton, number 2, senior, linebacker, captain.
Xavier Cora, number 5, sophomore, linebacker.
Joshua Cormier, 44, senior, linebacker.
Brian Aguilar, number 1, senior, cornerback.
Steven Diaz, 11, senior, cornerback. Jared Viola, number 3, senior, safety.
Ricky Encarnacion, 0, senior, safety.
And that's Leominster's 4-3 defense. The Shrewsbury multiple front offense will look like this. There are some changes from when we saw them back in week 4 against Algonquin. Left to right across the line, Joe McKenzie and Yassine Badareldin will be your left side protection up front for Shrewsbury. Jarrett Ellis will snap the football as the center. The right side protection, Evan Romano and Brad Blattner guard and tackle. The tight end is Cooper Ackerman. The wide receivers getting the start for Coach John Aloisi tonight. Oliver Canavan, Jacob Barranco, Felix Pittarino will all get starts tonight. Starting running back tonight, Josiah Spiegel will get the start at the running back spot. And then there's the quarterback, the bruising TJ Welch, that will get the start in this multiple front offense. Let's flip sides of the football. Let's meet, in their own words, the Leominster shotgun offense.
Cyrus Lopez, number 9, freshman, quarterback.
Mackay Simpson-Newton, number 2, senior, running back, captain.
Ricky Encarnacion, 0, senior, receiver.
Brian Aguilar, number 1, senior, wide receiver.
Caden Drinkwater, number 8, freshman, wide receiver. Joshua Cormier, 44, senior, H-back.
Logan Arcee, number 54, senior, left tackle.
Down my right, number 52, senior, offensive line.
John Ascabi, 56, senior, center, captain.
Corin Sullivan, number 73, senior, offensive guard.
Tony Kendall, number 69, junior, offensive tackle.
And that's Leominster's spread shotgun offense in their own voices. Note once again the change, if you didn't catch it from inside the headset. Ricky Encarnacion, although he introduced himself in his regular number 0, he will wear number 7 tonight in honor of Ricky White, former LYF coach and former Leominster High School Blue Devil athlete in the class of 1998. Of course, we will join the chorus of sympathy sent out to the Curley and White family at this time for their tragic loss. And I am told, Bill Thomas, that down on the field, obviously, I felt certainly the heaviness of the moment out there, but I've been told that it has been an emotional roller coaster of a week for these players. Both Osiris Lopez and Ricky Encarnacion attended the funeral today, and I am told that they folded and figured prominently into that. The family is honored that Ricky changed his number for tonight and is willing to wear number 7 in honor of another Ricky White, who lost his life this week.
Yeah, awesome tribute by Ricky Encarnacion, unselfish, and that's what we know him as.
Absolutely.
We've followed him his athletic career the last 3-4 years in different sports, but it doesn't surprise me that senior team captain would make this gesture and show that kind of support and gratitude and just keep Ricky's thoughts, not that they're not, but at the forefront of the team. He's out there wearing his number, and maybe, you hate to say, well, maybe they'll give extra. Like they weren't giving 100% before, but maybe 101% because Ricky White might be riding on one of the players' shoulders tonight. They're in a big play, and there could be credit where credit could be due.
And that is no question about that. Great point there, Bill Thomas. The 3-4 Shrewsbury defense. The defensive tackles up front, Joe McKenzie, Brad Blattner, Carol Harrison. The linebacking core, Tom Caputo, Cooper Ackerman, John Bador, and Oliver Canavan. The defensive backs, Ryan Ayagallo, Ryan Ketty, Dom Vincula, and TJ Welch will also play in that defensive backfield for the Colonials tonight. And those are the starters for this 36th overall meeting between these two communities, Shrewsbury and Leominster. Leominster leads the all-time series per the Telegram and Gazette's Dean of the Sports Department, Bill Ballou, by a 25-10 mark since they began playing each other regularly back in 1990.
Somebody getting a police escort
as
to
the
game?
Colonials form up at their entryway.
it.
The Shrewsbury Town of squad car that is down there has electrified with their red, white, and blue lighting and fired off their sirens to signal the impending arrival of the Colonials as they form up in the east end zone to our right, getting ready closer and closer for action. Bill Thomas, before we get a little bit deeper into this countdown to kickoff, here are the notes that I got from Coach John Aloisi for his keys to the game in playing Leominster tonight. This is the keys to a Shrewsbury victory per Coach John Aloisi. Limit the big plays of Leominster, and he says this is a major challenge. This is a big play offense. Eliminate mistakes on the offensive side of the ball for the Colonials. That includes penalties, turnovers, and sacks, which have plagued the team throughout the year. He wants them to win the turnover battle. Feels like that's an important note. Win on the special teams as far as field position goes. He wants to back Leominster up wherever he can get the opportunity and give them the long field, and then play with a consistent urgency and effort. Those are the keys to a Shrewsbury victory per Shrewsbury head coach John Aloisi, and we thank him for supplying those. And that's a look inside of their headset, Bill Thomas, as to where they see the night going as well. And of course, it is senior night here at Adams Memorial Field as well. I was going to say
we're better part of home and away. Seems like every night senior night, just a great tribute to the players that are finishing up their careers as seniors. Could be their last. Actually, I've reached some low-hanging fruit. This will be their last home game. I don't see them. It would take a miracle for them to get a home game in the playoffs. So great tribute to send the seniors off on a high note.
I can report that Athletic Director Jay Costa has returned from the girls' soccer playoff game in Grafton. The sirens go up and the lights again as well. And here come the Colonials from right to left, far right corner of the end zone down to the 50-yard line in their respective bench below us here at Adams Memorial Field tonight. And what a great intro, Bill Thomas.
Can we get the Leominster Police Department to park up on the hill with a couple of there's enough PD there.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's got to be cruisers around it. Up on the hill behind that would be
light them up.
Up on the walkway on the baseball side.
I mean, if we're going to go all out here, Bill Thomas.
Flagpole, and
there's
like
a tunnel at
great.
Doyle Field, and Leominster has chips. They've got the motorcycle
They
cops.
Could, yeah.
Put them running out of the tunnel, just like Oregon does.
How cool would that
with
be?
the motorcycle out onto the field. Come on, hey, if we're going to reach
day.
for the sky, let's reach for the sky and make it an interesting
We
one.
got the best stadium in Central Mass,
to
if
say
not
the
all
least.
of Mass. So let's ramp it up a little bit with the presentations.
Pep band down on the field for the Colonials as well tonight. We'll hear them perform throughout the night as well. It's going to be a great night for football. Leominster and Shrewsbury coming up here on RFM Audio, YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch, as well as with our partners at Leominster TV, joining us here live tonight on Comcast, Verizon, and Leominster.tv streaming as well. Captains heading toward midfield to meet with the crew chief, Bob Bonsi, as assigned by the Central Mass Board of Officials. This will be Bill Thomas's time to shine as the captains get together. And while Bill Thomas handles the coin toss, Kate Robbins, I'm going to bring you back in from HQ as we get closer and closer to this kickoff of Leominster and Shrewsbury tonight. And Kate, Leominster is going to be playing with heavy hearts. We're told Shrewsbury heavy hearts as well. The emotion of the moment certainly has to figure into all of this and is all part of course, and maybe, more important than a football game tonight that is going to take center stage. But certainly these, young athletes between the ages of 14 and 18 are dealing with an awful lot tonight coming into kickoff as well.
Well, and as Coach Devin Gates said in the Coach's Corner, obviously this is about more than just football. This is about, this is about the real life. And having somebody like Ricky Encarnacion be at the helm of this program as part of the senior leadership has certainly been helpful for Leominster. But it's one of these situations where coaches, because most of the time they are educators as well, they're able to make this a teachable moment. This is the reality. This is what adulthood and what loss and grieving is like. And both of these teams tonight, as you said, going out with heavy hearts, working toward being able to take on that loss and continue to play football through it.
No question about that, Kate. Indeed. Bill Thomas, results of the coin toss?
Shrewsbury has been awarded the opening kickoff because Leominster won the coin flip, is deferring to the second half. Leominster will be defending the end zone to our left.
Indeed, they will, as both teams sprint to their benches, and the cruiser indicates
it up. I love it.
Approval as well. I certainly do. Adds a little atmosphere here
certainly
at
does.
Adams Memorial Field at Central One Federal Credit Union Stadium. Place that is absolutely, a phenomenal playing facility and is always being improved by Jay Costa and the great folks as well. We're going to join public address announcer here at Adams Memorial Field for the pregame ceremony and the national anthem.
Ricky J. White from Leominster was a current youth football coach, an alumni and former football player for the Blue Devils. Ricky's spare time was spent coaching his son in tackle football and flag football. He loved coaching not only his son, but all the kids. He unlocked the true potential and encouraged all the kids he coached to do their very best. Everybody wanted to be on his team and play for him. He had a big smile, open arms, a big heart, and a love for everyone that was unique and deep. He always made everyone, both adults and children, feel truly special, and he will be very missed. Also, in the Shrewsbury community, Nick DiPilato. We've lost a legend in Nicholas DiPilato Jr., simply known as D, may be best known to the Shrewsbury community as Shrewsbury High School's all-time winningest coach, amassing a career record of 813, 155, and 3 in both girls and boys track and field and cross country. D's dynasty included 48 league championships, 36 district championships, 7 state titles, and over his storied 43-year coaching tenure. He was inducted into the Massachusetts State Coaches Association's Hall of Fame and Shrewsbury High School's Athletic Hall of Fame. However, what mattered most to Nick were the relationships he built with his student athletes. Ever humble and selfless, he would deflect credit for his students' successes, always insisting their accolades and awards were a tribute to their own hard work. Dee was a son, husband, dad, coach, counselor, colleague, mentor, and true friend, and will forever be missed. Please join us in a moment of silence to honor both Ricky J. White and Nicholas D. DiPilato. Thank you all very much. At this time, we invite everyone to please stand while we honor our nation and our flag while the Shrewsbury High School Band plays our national anthem.
We are ready for football here at Adams Memorial Field tonight. Leominster and Shrewsbury getting ready to play for the 36th meeting all time here on RFM Audio and Leominster TV. It's great to have you along with us wherever you are. YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitch, Leominster TV, channels of Comcast, Verizon, and Leominster.tv. Streaming as well or in delay with our partners, 95.1 FM, WLPZ and WLPZ.org, or Tucka 56 Radio and Tucka56Radio.com. Bill Thomas, we got Leominster and Shrewsbury ready to go, and we are ready for the play-by-play.
You are listening to Leominster High School football from RFM Audio on YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch. It's time for our signature play-by-play. Now with the call of the game, the voice of the Blue Devils, Todd Robbins.
All right, Bill Thomas, thank you so much. Ball is on the tee, 40-yard line at our left. Dan Thompson will handle the kicking duties for Leominster as he has all season long. He'll be kicking from left to right across your streaming dials, and away we go. He swings the right leg, end over end it will go. It will be returned from the Colonial 15-yard line with a full head of steam across the 25, then the 30, and angled out of bounds at the 36-yard line. Jake Barranco with the return out of bounds, actually just shy of the 35 at the 34-yard line, and that's where the Colonials will start. First down and 10 at their own 34 after a return by Barranco of 14 yards from right to left. Which Colonial team do we see, Bill Thomas? The one that's going to keep moving the front, going to want to move the ball around through the air short, or the team that is going to want to pound and bruise the Blue Devils? Which team is the one that comes out for Coach John Aloisi here on the first possession?
I have a feeling they're going to test the ground game here, Todd, and maybe let his quarterback see if he can't work a little magic, improve the field position. But here we go.
Straight line three-back set. Welch up under center, the snap. Welch follows the center. Jarrett Ellis straight up the A-gap. Powers across the 35 and down at the 36-yard line after a gain of 3, maybe 4 out to the 38-yard line. And it will be second down and 6 to go.
I had TJ involved, but I didn't expect him to keep her up the middle. But, yeah, let's make something happen here, I think, offensively. The last thing that Colonials want to do here is have a costly turnover. Let's see if we can't just burn a little bit of clock here, get a little momentum.
From the bruising full house backfield to now Welch in a shotgun set, trips to the wide side left. Running back in the backfield is Spiegel. The snap, swing pass comes out of the backfield complete. It was Barranco who makes the catch, gets ahead of steam, crosses the 35 and down shy of the 40 at the 39. He gains a 1, and it'll bring up a third down and 5 to go. The Colonials wearing the Color Rush home navy blue tops with navy blue bottoms, trimmed in Vegas gold at the shoulders, Colonials across the chest, and the Vegas gold numerals front and back. The classic Vegas gold helmet with the navy blue face masks for Shrewsbury with the white trim and the white shoes as well. And here comes Welch out of his huddle. He's in a shotgun set. 3 receivers in the formation, 2 wide to the right. Welch with the double call and now asks for the ball. He will roll hard to his right. Look over the middle of the field and throw. Leaping attempt by Steve Diaz. It's incomplete. Diaz was the best man at the ball for a potential interception that goes through his hands. Incomplete. Oliver Canavan was the intended receiver for the Colonials downfield.
Yeah, right through Steven Diaz's hands. Almost that costly turnover the Colonials don't want early on, and now, but coming up with a punting situation here, and I don't expect them to take any chances, Todd.
4th and 5 at their own 39-yard line at left hash, kicking from right to left potentially, but
they're
no.
Gonna kick this.
Here comes Welch in a shotgun set.
Yeah,
now he will drop back to his own 31. Ground ball snap, fielded by Welch. He gets the quick kick away. It will be returned by Ricky Encarnacion from the Leominster 29-yard line. Up the middle of the field to the 35, then the 40. Angled from left to right, crossing the 45, and punched out of bounds just before midfield at the 47-yard line. A 20-yard return for Ricky Encarnacion, and a nice defensive play, stopping the return by Evan Romano with a good open field tackle.
Yeah, nice job there, though, by the Colonials trying to catch the Blue Devils misaligned and not having somebody back there. Ricky quick enough on the spot to get back there because that ball might still be bouncing.
So here comes Leominster. First down and 10, ball at their own 46-yard line at right hash as they go left to right. 10:07 to play here in the first quarter. Just about 2 minutes gone by here in quarter number 1. The first and 10 carry goes to Mackay Newton. Newton goes straight forward toward the teeth of the defense, gains maybe 2 on the play, and is turned back at the 48-yard line.
Straight up the teeth here, but nothing fancy. First down for the Blue Devils, but we know what a big play strike capabilities they have, so don't expect to see a lot of these 3 yards in a cloud of dust. Although, got to give Newton credit. He's really found his legs the last couple of weeks, Todd.
No question about it, coming back off that injury. Second down and 8 to go at the Leominster 48, going left to right. Lopez shotgun set, looks, comeback screen for Drinkwater from the left. Pass is complete. Drinkwater gets some space, crosses midfield, Colonial 45, and down at the Colonial 43-yard line, gains 9, and it's a Leominster first down.
Nice job, nice little safe play on that wide receiver screen. Drinkwater knows what to do with it when he gets the ball in his hands. I tell you, for a freshman, he's pretty sure-handed.
Indeed he is, and did a nice job in that open space to put on the brakes, take it up field, stayed between the hash and the numbers, found a little lane.
And that's the kind of play where inexperience gets you looking up because you're worried about the hit. You don't make the catch. Drinkwater did everything he needed to.
First and 10, Leominster at the Colonial 43-yard line. Give it to Newton on first down out of a gun. He angles it out to the left, crossing the numbers left and down around the 40-yard line. Gains 2, maybe 3 on the play, and it'll be a second down and 8 to go as they'll bring that spot back to the 41-yard line. 8:40 and counting here in quarter 1.
I like the mix here, Todd. Back and forth, passing, ground game. Let's keep the defense guessing. About time to go downfield, though, I think.
Fast-moving first 4 minutes. Each team with a possession. Leominster's first possession continues. Second down and 8 to go. Shotgun set, trips to the wide side right. Snap, and the give this time is for Newton. Tried to angle the play to the right, tiptoed a little bit back to the left, and that was enough for the Colonial defense to come in with the rapid tackle. Oliver Canavan from the linebacker spot came up with the initial hit and then cleaned up by some Colonials in conjunction.
Yeah, looked like John Baldor in there at the end. No more right there. Maybe might have lost a yard on that, Todd.
Third down and 9 is what they're showing. Ball back to the 42-yard line.
Big third down play here.
And Leominster at the line in a shotgun set, trips at the wide side right, 4 receivers in the formation. Lopez the snaps, roll to the trips, throws into the boundary, pass is caught by Brian Aguilar, threw on the brakes before stepping out of bounds and turned the ball upfield toward the 35-yard line and is taken down across the Colonial 35 at the 34. It will not be enough for a Leominster first down. It'll be about a yard and a half shy. It'll be fourth down and short, and a choice early for Leominster head coach Devin Gates.
Yeah, they gave him 8 on that. He needed 9, but I don't really think there's much of a choice, Todd. You're playing the field position game right here. They've already regained the field position they needed. You turn the ball over on downs here. It's where the Colonials had it to start their first series. You got to go for this here, and I don't know about the 4 wide, but we'll see how this works out.
4 wide in the formation, pair on either side, 2 tight to the boundary right. Encarnacion now goes in motion from slot right to slot left. Snap of the ball and a flag and a whistle kills the play, and it was the wing official from the Leominster side of the field. Bob Bonsi says illegal procedure against Leominster. It's a 5-yard penalty, and it'll be fourth down and longer.
Yeah, somebody getting a little itchy there on that far side of the field, play coming that way. Somebody trying to get a jump on the block. I have to see if this changes the plan. I kind of doubt it. I think we're still going to see that 4 wide maybe, but with a little more sense of urgency here, 4th and 6, Todd.
As the ball goes back to the 39-yard line of the Colonials.
Find a way to get it in Encarnacion's hands.
At right hash, a lot of time for Lopez in the huddle with his blockers up front. He'll now send the blocking scheme to the line. Skill players route their positions. It's trips tight to the formation left. Newton in the backfield on 4th down and 6. Lopez back to pass, draws it, then throws the screen. Flipped complete. Newton across the numbers, across the 40, 35, got left sideline. Go 25, 20, 10, 5, end zone. And a kneel down from Mackay Newton. It's a 39-yard touchdown scamper for Mackay Newton off the screen to the left, and Leominster draws first blood.
On 4th down, I might add, Todd, what a well-designed play. They had trips out there to the left. Clean that area out, let that screener get out there, nobody in front of them. at the very least, you get the first down, but Mackay found a way to get that bonus yardage.
Great recognition by Newton to see that the numbers were open. And then he went numbers boundary and followed the boundary right to pay dirt for 6.
Seen him leaning in there as he turned that corner, getting streamlined. Somehow he held the line.
Aguilar holds for Dan Thompson. Snap the ball down. Kick is up, and it is blocked. Great
24.
block there. Cooper Ackerman through the line and knocks it down.
With authority, he almost could have tackled the holder, I think, at that point, Todd, but great job right there.
7:19 to play in the first, and back upfield come the teams. It's Leominster 6 and Shrewsbury nothing. Check of our time and temperature and game weather conditions. Looks like this here on a Friday night, October the 28th. 42 degrees. They say the real feel is 45. We're heading for an overnight low of 35 on a clear, calm, no-wind night.
Did you say it's 42, but at real feel is
45?
How can it feel warmer? I've never heard that.
I'll tell you, the folks at the RFM Weather Center, they've got a doozy of one there.
I feel warmer now, Todd. I don't feel 42. I love it.
I would say the important note there is no wind here at Adams Memorial Field tonight.
No wind or rain. Great night for football.
Indeed.
Blue Devils off to a fast start here, too. They're converting that 4th down play.
Kate Robbins is standing by. We'll get the Leominster scoring drive after this kickoff. Ball on the tee, 40-yard line at our left. Dan Thompson will be kicking from left to right. Thompson on the approach, swings the right leg, end over end, right down the middle of the field. It will be returned by the Colonials from their own 20-yard line. Now the 30, now the 40, midfield and out of bounds. It was a nice return by Ryan Keddy, the sophomore. He almost sprung free, but he stepped on the sideline crossing midfield. Great Colonial field position, 1st and 10 at the Leominster 48, a 32-yard return for the Colonials and Ryan Keddy. Kate Robbins, you've got the stats on the Leominster scoring drive.
I certainly do. It was a 6-play drive covering a total of more than 37 yards. I don't know why it says 37 yards, but at any rate, it took 3 minutes.
54 yards, Kate, was the drive.
54 yards, thank you. 3 minutes of clock, 39-yard touchdown reception by Mackay Newton seals that off. Extra point, no good. 6-0 Blue Devils.
All right, Kate, thank you so much. 1st and 10 Colonials at the Leominster 47-yard line from right to left. The snap, and guess who? It's TJ Welch. Welch brings the battering ram across the 40 and down to the 35-yard line. Gains 12, and it is a Colonial first down.
Good first down play right there. Colonials finding a way to flip the field. You know, with that great run back off that kickoff, getting on the positive side of the 50.
You can feel the electricity in the stands tonight, Bill Thomas. Everybody knows this is an important football game for both teams.
It's all about momentum going into the playoffs next week, Todd. You want to go in on a high note.
1st and 10 from the Leominster 35, and it's the snap for Welch. The give went straight up the middle of the field. Looked like Vinciula on the carry. Waiting for the official number there, Bill Thomas. Do you have 26 on that one? Josiah Spiegel on the carry.
Little bunch up once again. I tell you, give Colonials plenty of credit. The numbers are great, but once the uniforms bunch up, those 6s and 8s kind of get blended together. But nice first down run there, picking up a solid 4.
2nd down and 6 to go from the Leominster 31-yard line. Half a step in from the left hash, going right to left. And now Welch is in a shotgun set with Baracco with him. 3 receivers in the formation. Man checks in motion. It's Iagallo. They fake the give to Iagallo, and Welch keeps it right up the A-gap, following the left hash, cross the 25 and down around the Leominster 23-yard line. It is enough on a gain of 5 for a Colonial first down.
Moving the sticks, and it looked like almost Iagallo was the intended ball carry there, but the ball was off to the left side of Welch's hip and turned into a keeper, turned into a first down. And, Todd, we get a chance. You can expand a little bit on Iagallo's story here as the game progresses.
No question about it. A great story there. I experienced a car accident. I had a bounce back, rehab, lost a couple fingers.
Serious hand injury.
And yet here he is, and he is himself competing for a Division I baseball scholarship, but out on the football field. And Coach John Aloisi and squad are happy to have him. On 1st and 10, the carry goes for John Baldor, who finds some room. Across the Leominster 25, the 20, and down around the 19-yard line. It's a gain of 7 on the play. Give him 2nd down and 3 to go.
Nice first down run right there, and I think that's the key to Shrewsbury's offense, they got to get chunk yardage on first down, Todd, so that gives them the options on second and third, and doesn't allow the Blue Devils defense using their speed, as far as rushing the passer or covering the wide receivers or covering those sweeps. I think that it's really setting the Colonials up for good second and third down plays.
And Coach John Aloisi and coaching staff are in no rush here.
Oh, no.
They are
limit the touches.
Absolutely. Limiting the touches, slowing this football game down. 4:18 to play here in the first. Leominster 6-0 lead. The motion man was Pittarino. Faked the give, did Welch on the snap of the ball. And then Welch straight up the middle. Across the 15 and down to the Leominster 12. Gain 6, and that is enough for another Colonial first down as they matriculate the ball down the field 5, 6, 7, 8 yards at a time. You do that on back-to-back plays. They give you a first down built up.
Yeah, safe plays to give you first downs, and it keeps the clock moving, Todd. You're not, messing around with incompletions or running out of bounds. Everything's between the hashes for the most part, and Colonial's doing a good job of managing this first quarter. And you fall behind, you don't want to give up another quick one. The Blue Devils are exactly what the Colonial offense needs to do.
1st and 10 for the Colonials at the Leominster 13-yard line, middle of the field, going right to left. Shotgun set, 3 receivers in the formation. Welch the snap, fake the give to the motion man, take it right into the teeth of the defense, and he is met there by a wall coming straight through that A-gap. It's a loss of a yard on the play, back to the 14-yard line. But more importantly, Bill Thomas, there came the Leominster defense, and they said, you will go no farther than here. Enough is enough.
Yeah, and then once they got around his ankles and, the rest of the team came in, Welch fighting for everything he can, but yards gets tougher down there. Field gets smaller. I'm going to have to find a way to spread that Leominster defense out. They're going to continue to run it up the middle.
And Coach Dennis Manoni, the defensive coordinator, preached all week for Leominster. Form tackling here. You tackle at the legs. You tackle at the waist. You wrap and you bring them down to the ground. That's what they're looking to do to slow down a powerful TJ Welch. 2nd down and 11 in a 4-receiver set. Welch keeps it himself. And once again met by the defense at the point of attack. Welch across the 15 and down around the 12. Gains back what was lost, plus 1 or 2 more. He'll have a 3rd down and 9 for the Colonials at the Leominster 12-yard line.
Yeah, John Escabi come flying around from his right defensive end position there and just grabbing Welch from the backside. Great speed there coming off the offside.
2:21 and counting to play here in quarter 1. Leominster with the 6-0 lead on their lone touch of the football. This just the 3rd offensive drive of the game, 2nd for the Colonials. In what is a game that, not just because of the cold, Bill Thomas, feels like it's caught in a quagmire. On 3rd and 9, man checks in motion. It's Pittarino from left to right. Give it to Pittarino. Now it's the quarterback throwback for Welch. It hit the ground. Whistles go off. It is ruled an incomplete forward pass, and it brings up 4th down and a choice for Coach John Aloisi.
Picking out a gimmick play right there, but I think the Blue Devils kind of sniffed it out. Somebody stayed home here on this near side, and not sure that play was going to work, even if that turned into a completion, Todd.
4th down and 9 for the Colonials. A lot of personnel changes. Under 2 minutes to play here in the first. Clock stopped on the incompletion. 1:56 to play here in the first quarter.
Big play right here.
To the line come the Colonials. The tight end Cooper Ackerman is wide to the right in a 4-receiver set on 4th and 9 from the Leominster 12. Shotgun snap for Welch. Plants the back foot. Goes end zone long. Jump ball. It is long and incomplete. Jason Nickerson was the intended receiver, and Brian Aguilar there with the coverage. It's a turnover on downs. As good as a punt this deep in the Leominster zone. It'll be 1st and 10 Leominster at their own 12-yard line.
Yeah, absolutely. But great defense by Brian Aguilar there. Got inside coverage, got his arm up in front of the receiver, trying to run that fade to the backside, but Aguilar stayed with him, and more importantly, didn't get flagged for grabbing onto the receiver or reaching over him.
Bob Bonsi and his umpire meet over the spot of the ball. They have an extended conversation, and now they head to their positions. 1:50 to play here in the first. Leominster with the 6-0 lead. Begin their second offensive possession, 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line. With a carry for Mackay Newton. Met at the point of attack by a pair of defenders and pushed back on the play. Newton pops right up, but no gain on the play is the best hope. 2nd and 10 from the Leominster 12.
Brad Blattner in on the tackle initially with a little bit of help from his lineman friends, but tough yard right there for Newton. I tell you, Newton's been getting those tough yards, and he'll have a 1 yarder, and then he'll turn around and he'll bust one for you. So keep feeding the beast because that's how Newton's been playing the last couple of weeks.
Final 75 seconds of the first quarter. On second down and 10, back to pass. It's Lopez out of a gun. He's directing traffic. Coverage all around downfield, so he'll roll toward the boundary throw. He was looking for Ricky Encarnacion coming toward the boundary right, and it is thrown incomplete as Encarnacion ran out of real estate, and it'll bring up third down and 10.
Nice try. He had pretty much all his offensive core running this way. Fullback Josh Cormier trying to help him out over here. Brian Aguilar short, but the best thing there was Lopez didn't take a sack. He didn't throw up that 50-50 ball that I think got him in so much trouble back in that PBD game. I've seen so much maturity out of Lopez the last couple of weeks when he's gotten in trouble. He hasn't just lofted up that 50-50 ball with a prayer attached to it. He's really playing heads up, looking for a spot, and right there, if it's not there, the only place you should put it is where your guy can catch it.
Third and 10 for Leominster, their own 12-yard line going left to right. Out of the gun, trips to the right of the formation. Looks slant coming from the slot right. It was Encarnacion again, ball in his hands, incomplete. Great coverage by the linebacker. Oliver Canavan was right there step for step with Encarnacion, moving on the slant to the middle of the field.
Yep, nice job. They might have been looking for that. We know that's in the Blue Devils playbook. They like to go to it in these kinds of situations, but Colonials thwarted that offensive series. They're going to get the ball back in pretty good field position here, Todd.
A 3 and out on this Leominster drive. Fourth down and 10, their own 12-yard line. Jared Viola in punt formation stands at his own goal line. He'll be kicking from left to right. Gunners will flank out toward the numbers. Swinging door closes, good snap to Viola. He was pressured by Canavan, but he got the kick off. It hits around the numbers left on the one bounce, but a great play by the gunner downfield. The wrap and tackle. It was Memi Elias wearing number 0 tonight makes the tackle.
And I tell you, maybe he's inspired by wearing Ricky's 0 tonight with Ricky wearing number 7 from Ricky White, but he showed a little flash right there.
Great open field play. He got away from his coverage, got right to the return man and makes the tackle, limiting the damage on the field position. Leominster not able to clear midfield, but it's first and 10 for the Colonials at the Leominster 47-yard line. 50 seconds to play here in the first quarter, and the Colonials chasing a Leominster 6-0 advantage.
And a nice drive right there, getting 35 positive yards out of that, but putting the Colonials right back where they started their last offensive drive.
First and 10 at the Leominster 47. The shotgun set. Give to the motion man. It's Barranco trying to stretch the field to the left. Newton from the linebacking spot gets to him and wraps him down back across midfield. And at the Colonial 46-yard line, it's a loss of 6 on the play.
A full 6 right there, Todd, but great job by Newton coming, flashing up from his right linebacker, outside linebacker spot. No way was he making that corner.
Indeed.
Newton was there waiting for him.
It is as if he saw that one on the film this week as well. And now second down and long. Call it second and 15. Clock still running here. Just 12 seconds left in the first quarter. Welch and company not hurrying. They may snap the ball one more time before the quarter ends. Fans are certainly imploring them to do so. 2 seconds, go 1, and Welch is going to stand there. And that is the way the first quarter will come to a close. Thinning the football game is the part of the Colonial strategy. 1 quarter in the books here from Adams Memorial Field. It's Leominster 6 and Shrewsbury 0. Colonials with the football. Teams will change ends for second quarter action. We're going to send it back to RFM HQ. Kate Robbins standing by with her first quarter stats.
All right, thank you, gentlemen. Let's take a look right now on the Colonial side of the ball. TJ Welch trying to do most of the work for the offense for the Colonials. He has 29 of their 34 rushing yards. If we take a look at Leominster's side of the ball right now, Lopez is 3 of 5 passing for 57 total yards, passing to 3 different receivers, one of which was Mekhi Newton. He had that 39-yard touchdown reception. Mekhi Newton, the only person who has touched the ball for a rush. He's touched it 4 times for a total net of 3 yards. So right now, Leominster trying to diversify their offense, struggling in the rushing attack.
All right, Kate, thank you so much. It is not a lot numbers-wise to look at in that first quarter as the Colonials dominate the time of possession, but they trail on the scoreboard 6-0. Perhaps, from what we can tell, this was part of Coach Aloisi's game plan. Take as much time off the clock as you can. Limit the big play by limiting Leominster's possessions. but you've got to score every time you touch the ball as well. Here's a second down and long. Welch with the shotgun snap takes it straight forward on the delay, got midfield, and then to the Leominster 48-yard line. Gains back some of what was lost, maybe 5 yards. It'll be third down and 11 at the Leominster 48-yard line. They need the Leominster 37 for a first down. Second quarter action just underway here from Adams Memorial Field. Leominster wearing the all-white, white tops, white bottoms, trimmed in royal blue at the legs and the shoulder pads. Blue Devils across the chest, royal blue numerals front and back, and the classic Leominster white helmet with the white face mask and the single royal blue stripe up the middle. On third down and 11, the snap for Welch. Fakes the give to the motion man, keeps it himself, straight over the A-gap, cross the Leominster 45 and down at the 44-yard line. Gains 4, maybe 5 on the play, and it'll be fourth down and long. Fourth down and 8 to go.
Gio Roman leading the defensive charge there, coming in low. Limiting Welch right there, but big fourth down right here. This is much bigger, I think, than that. Although they didn't get points, you don't want to give up field position right here. It's a great starting field position if Blue Devils get the ball back.
10:45 to play before halftime. 6-0 Leominster advantage. Fourth down and 7 to go. They need the Leominster 37 for a first, and the Colonials will go for it. No, they will not. Ackerman will drop back, check it. On that, it was Welch. Welch plays a low snap on that quick kick, and then there is a collision as the ball goes down the boundary. Flags are out. The ball is out of bounds, and we've got confusion right now. I don't believe that ball made the end zone, Bill Thomas. So Leominster is pinned deep, pending the flags.
Yeah, I'm not sure what was going on over there. It looked like Ricky Encarnacion decided he was going to make a play for the ball just as it was about to go out of bounds. I'm not sure if there's a targeting or, not allowing the offensive player the opportunity to field the ball. But once it's on the ground, I mean, you don't
Encarnacion
really need
also
to make
made
room.
the contact there, Bill Thomas.
Yeah.
That's the part you got to think about. The flag is down.
See who initiated that.
At the Leominster 4-yard line, which was about where the ball was.
But there was 2 flags there, Todd, so I wonder if the officials had a different look at it, a different perspective here, having a discussion, and now they're pointing towards Leominster. So I think whatever they come up with is going to march the Leominster Blue Devils back even closer to their goal line.
So here comes Bob Bonsi to the middle of the field, and here comes the signal. It's personal foul. Illegal blindside block signaled against Leominster. So it'll be half the distance to the goal in an already narrow field. Becomes that much narrower, and Leominster's got about 98 yards in front of them if they aspire to more points.
I think this turns into about a 3-yard penalty. I think the penalty was on about the 5-yard line, but I tell you, they're putting it right on the goal. That looks like more, unless it was on the 1.
They are at
the
the 1/2 yard line, Bill Thomas.
Line. Wow.
The back nose of the football, I can see, although this is as far opposite us as we humanly possibly can get, the nose of the football, backside of it, is sniffing the Leominster goal line.
Get Ackerman to step out of your way there so you can get a look at it.
It's Leominster 1st and 10 from their own 1/2 yard line, coming from right to left. 10:22 to play here in the second quarter. 6-0 Leominster lead, and the freshman Osiris Lopez at the quarterback spot, standing in a shotgun formation in his own end zone. Snap, give it to Makai Newton. Newton gets out of the end zone. He is lassoed by Ackerman and sent back from whence he came.
Yeah, Blue Devils trying just to get a little breathing room there up the middle. It's tough. Handoffs in the shotgun always scare me, Todd, especially in this kind of situation. Somebody blows an assignment on the offensive line, and next thing you know, getting submarined in the end zone. But have to see if the Blue Devils can get themselves a little bit of room to work with here.
Get 2.5 on the play. Leominster out to their own 3. So they will have second down and 8 to go from their own 3-yard line. It's a shotgun set. 4 receivers in the formation. Lopez takes the shotgun snap from the end zone once again. Give it to Newton. Newton takes it left of the formation, takes contact at the 4-yard line, again at the 5, but battles his way toward the 7-yard line. Creates a little more space for Leominster, and it'll be a third down and short. Third down and 3 to go after a gain of 4 for Newton.
Tough sledding down there. I didn't know he was going to make the corner, Todd, but he found some way to get out of the end zone.
And give Leominster a little more space here on third down to have some options. Clock running, 9:12 and counting to play here in the second quarter. Leominster the 6-0 advantage. Only their third offensive possession of the night. Colonial crowd gets behind their defense on 3rd down and 3 for Leominster, coming right to left from their own 7-yard line. A dropped snap. Now whistles kill the play. And it's a procedure call against Leominster. Wing official on the near sideline.
That play has just not been their friend, Todd. They're trying to use that wide receiver in motion, get him involved in the running game, and just had trouble with the exchange on that play.
Indeed, and so you back Leominster back 5 yards, and there was room to take them back from their own 7, back across their 5, back to about the 3-yard line. So 3rd down now, 3rd, and we'll call it a long 7. They need their own 11-yard line for a first down. It's a shotgun set. Tight formation, 3 receivers out. Lopez, the shotgun snap, thrown out of his own end zone with some time. A wobbler over the middle of the field. He finds Ricky Encarnacion across the 20, the 25, met at the 30, and down at the 31-yard line. That'll create some room. It's a gain of 20, and Leominster first down. The freshman showing the nails and able to take it over the middle of the field.
Not only that, throwing it into traffic, but under control, Todd. Not just winging it into a crowd. He knew right where his receiver was going to be, and Castellon did the rest. 1st and 10 from their own 31. Lopez, the shotgun snap. Now he rolls into the open field right. Another wobbler downfield. And Encarnacion was wide open, and he had to come back for the football, and it's incomplete. He was open at the 30-yard line. Leominster fans ready to explode, and that one just a shade underthrown. I think we were too, Todd. Is wide open. And let's give Ricky the benefit of the doubt. I think he lost it in the lights.
He tried to go back and get it. It was short of him being in motion, but it will go back to the 31-yard line, their own, and call it 2nd down and 10 from their own 31.
And the other thing I saw, that whole right side got cleaned out. I think Lopez could still be running. He had clear sailing up to about the 50, Todd, but let it fly. Unfortunately, Castellon couldn't corral it.
2nd and 10 in the 2nd down handoff. Braden Martin gets the carry. Angled to the left of the formation. Crosses the 30 again to the 31. No gain on the play, and it's 3rd down and 10. And Bill Thomas, those are plays. Jumping back to that last one with that open field in front of Lopez. They've taken what the defense has given him there. In this case, he went for it all downfield, but he did have an option to take 20, 25, maybe 30 yards with his legs.
He did, absolutely. But it wasn't a case where he forced the ball downfield, Todd. We've seen him give that up to force into coverage. He had good options there, but, Ricky catches that. We're not talking about that open field.
3rd and 10 at the 31, their own. Shotgun snap, 4 receiver set. It's a delay. Lopez keeps it himself, then brought the ball back up. Now he's dancing, and down he goes at the 35-yard line. Gains a couple, but he looked a little scattered, did Cyrus Lopez. It gains 3. It's 4th down and 7.
Yeah, but you know what? I think he came to his senses instantaneously, and I think that's part of his maturity, that he started dancing around. As soon as he got that ball out, he knew he was downfield too far. He tucked it away. It's a learning process, and I think we see him growing with every play, Todd. Plays like that, those are learning plays. You got to constantly make decisions.
Jared Viola in punt formation stands at his own 22. Shifts his gunners, swinging door in front of him. He's kicking from right to left. Good snap. Viola puts the boot into it. Nice spiral in the air. It will hop at the Colonial 41 and then right into the hands of Josh Cormier, who was the long snapper on the play. Touched the ball down at the Colonial 39-yard line. A 25-yard punt in the air. No return.
Not bad. Gets Colonials back on their own side of the 50, and Blue Devils defense got to go back to work here, Todd. But I tell you, the clock is just winding down. Already halfway through this second quarter. And then we got 3 touches each on each side offensively, and maybe one more each here before the half at the way this game's going.
I was going to say, the molasses is coming very slow out of the jar on this cool, crisp fall night here on the campus of Shrewsbury High School.
Colonials bunching it up.
Indeed they are. 1st and 10 at their own 39, and Welch with the snap. Plows forward. He's following that center, Jared Ellis, who's the lead block, and he's still on his feet. Whistles hadn't stopped, and Welch continued across the 45 to the 46 to the 47-yard line.
You wonder how long they let that pile push, and I think sometimes kids start to let go. They think, all right, I got him.
Gotta have the whistle, right?
Where's the flag? And then the ball carrier fights out of it, gets extra 3-4 yards, and you wonder, where's the whistle? and you take him to the ground next time and you get a flag for,
late hit,
personal foul because, the whistle blew right when you tripped him up. So I'll tell you, that's tough sledding right there when you're not sure which way to go with that.
Halfway through this second quarter, under 6 minutes to play before halftime. Welch in a shotgun set, 3 receivers in the formation. The shotgun snap. Welch will hand it off. Works its way out to the right in the hands this time of Spiegel. Spiegel makes his way to the boundary, plowing across midfield and out of bounds on the Leominster side of midfield around the 47-yard line. Gains the handful needed for a Colonial first down. Officially a gain of 6, a 1st and 10 for Shrewsbury at the Leominster 46-yard line, going left to right.
Nice job by the Colonials, moving the chains, but not moving the clock right there. Play got tackled out of bounds. Did get the first down, though, which is most important.
Here comes that imposing line for the Colonials as they set up the trees at the point of attack. Spiegel is in the backfield with Welch. Sets down his line in the shotgun set. Here's the snap. Check it. It's Keeley. Keeley gets the handoff. Caught his foot on the ground as he turned upfield along the left hash, got to the 45, and then met by John Escabi. Delmar right in the Leominster defense.
Yeah, that got strung out, looked a little awkward right there, but I can tell you what I was watching, Todd. There's a big guy in the middle of that offense. I think it's he's 315 or so, and he's pulling on that play, Todd. He comes up, I think it was the center. He's pulling, he's up and out of it. I think it might have been Jared Ellis, but watching a little bit of the offensive line play there, you see a guy that big backing out and, leading the runner around the corner. That takes some discipline.
Ellis is a sophomore center, 6'2", 305, Bill Thomas. Welch gets the snap, and now straight up the middle of the field he goes. Avoids initial contact, now across the 40, dragging the Leominster defense, left to right across the 35, and down to the Leominster 30-yard line to the delight of the Navy and Vegas Gold. It's a gain of 14 and a first down on the back of Welch.
Legs never stop moving right there, and you talked about form tackling. It starts with those lower tree trunks. You got to wrap your arms around those legs and keep them from moving, then wait for some help.
First down and 10 for Shrewsbury. Nose of the football at the Leominster 30-yard line, continuing left to right. Coach Aloisi sending the play in.
Taking their time.
Welch has got his play, turns to his huddle as we pass the 4:25 mark here of the second quarter. The lone score of the football game, a Leominster touchdown with a missed point after. It is 6-0 Leominster. That is all. And we are just 39 minutes since kickoff in actual time. On 1st and 10, low snap, Welch fielded it, got the handoff for the motion man. It's Pitterino stretching the play out along the 30-yard line, tried to turn it upfield, maybe gained 1 on the play, and they'll give him 1 across the 30 to the Leominster 29. It'll be 2nd down and 9.
Blue Devils doing a good job stringing that out, not letting them find the corner.
The boundaries, Bill Thomas, have been the 12th man on both defenses.
They have, and you got to use it to your advantage. Keep stringing it out. Eventually, the ball carrier's got to turn it upfield, and you use that boundary to your advantage.
Notice there's 2 signals coming in from the sideline, Bill Thomas. Andrew Allback, a backup quarterback, a junior, maybe the future for the Colonials, also sending in signals right next to Coach John Aloisi. 2nd down and 9. Snap for Welch. Let the motion man blow by, then let the first level blow by. Then Welch moves to his left, advances the football toward the 25, but got stopped up shy at the 26-yard line.
Yeah.
Gains 3. It'll be 3rd down and 6.
Trying to see, I think Delmar right in on that one from his defensive line spot. Standing up and waiting for some help.
3:05 and counting to play here in the second quarter. Kate Robbins is standing by back at RFM HQ.
Not a lot going on.
She'll have first quarter scores from the other games going on around the region.
She'll have more to talk about than what we have.
Indeed, along with, of course, her first half stats. Coming up at halftime, we'll also have our impact play of the first half. Hint, hint, it may be the lone touchdown of the first half. We'll also have our mid-game adjustments as well. All that coming up at RFM at the half.
Shrewsbury's playing like this is the last drive of the half, points or not.
3rd down and 6 to go. 3-back backfield. Welch takes the snap, follows Ellis. The pile falls across the 25 and down to the 23-yard line. Gains 3, maybe 4 on the play. It'll be 4th down and 3 to go. They need to move the football to the Leominster 20-yard line for a first down. And if they do, Bill Thomas, this will be the drive that ends the half.
Yeah, I kind of saw that coming, Todd, and it's almost like they're playing to try to score on the last play of the half here and keep the ball away from the Blue Devils offense. They've done a great job defensively. The offense done a good job keeping Blue Devils offense off the field.
A
Have to
score?
see if they can run out the second quarter. A score would be frosting on the cake.
A score and a point after Bill Thomas. They got the lead. And remember, Coach Aloisi goes for 2 more often than not.
But they have a place kicker, too.
They do as well.
Between the uprights. He's not going to have to in this situation.
Clock continues to wind. 10 seconds on the play clock, and they're just lining up. Trips, and now Coach Aloisi says, maybe we took a little too much time on this 4th down play. Let's take a timeout and slow things down. 4th down and 3 to go. They'll be at the Leominster 24-yard line, needing the Leominster 20 for a reset of the sticks. 1:35 to play here in a fast-moving first half of action, and we are so happy to have you along with us on RFM Audio wherever you are, across the region or around the globe, streaming via YouTube, Facebook Live, or Twitch, with our live television partners, Leominster TV on Comcast or Verizon Cable, or online at leominster.tv, and our radio partners in delay, 95.1 FM, WLPZ FM, and Tucka 56 Radio and Tucka56radio.com. We are all so pleased to combine and support the student athletes and institutions competing tonight as the legendary soundtrack of football in Central Mass continues right here on RFM Audio. 4th down and 3 to go from the Leominster 23-yard line, just inside of left hash. Out of the timeout, it's an empty backfield. Man comes in motion. Welch the snap. It was an RPO. He decided to keep it himself. He takes it straight up the middle of the field. He's met by the Leominster defense down around the 21-yard line, which would be short of the line to gain at the Leominster 20. We await the signal from Bob Bonsi.
And the first down mark is right on the line.
And Bob Bonsi says, nope, it is Leominster first down. Turnover on downs. Leominster defense holds. 1:28 to play before halftime. Leominster with the 6-0 lead, and they will get another touch of the football.
Yeah, great stop right there by Blue Devils defense. Nose of the football needed to gain the 20, about a yard short. Blue Devils need to be careful here, though. You don't want to change the momentum with 1 or 2 misplays here as the half's winding down.
Diaz and Drinkwater will be wide of the formation left. Encarnacion and Viola make it Aguilar wide to the right as Leominster goes right to left here for the last minute and a half before halftime. Lopez, the shotgun snap. Out to the numbers right, throws underneath, passes caught by Encarnacion, sheds a defender at the 30, turns it upfield 35, then the 40, and angled out of bounds there, and it's a little spark from Mystery Electric, Ricky Encarnacion.
You're talking about he shed 2 defenders, and like the defenders, I can almost guarantee, thought Ricky was going to step out of bounds there, turns it inbounds, away from the sideline, and gains an extra 10 yards, then finds his way out of bounds. It's a great heads-up play there by Mr. Excitement.
Dominoes starting to fall into place for Encarnacion as Bill Thomas. He's been offered by Curry College this week as well.
And I'm sure that drop in the earlier in the quarter is on his mind.
On 1st and 10, back to pass, over the middle. There's Encarnacion again from Lopez. Across the 45, met by the defense at the 48-yard line, and the pile falls to the 49. It will gain 7 on the play, make it 8, 2nd down and 8.
Yeah, you started to say, Todd, Ricky's getting some interest.
On his way to, it's been offered at Curry College. He announced that today on Twitter. 2nd down and 2. Screen out of the backfield. Lopez finds Newton. Newton turns his way. That spins it midfield at the right numbers and up to the Colonial 46-yard line. It's a Leominster first down on a gain of 13. Clock stops. It pauses momentarily. 43 seconds before halftime. Leominster with the 6-0 lead, and now the timeouts will fully stop the clock.
Great job. Blue Devils doing a good job getting out of the shadow of their end zone after that turnover on downs, getting it out in a very manageable position. I know Lopez is just chomping at the bit to throw the ball downfield.
Kate Robbins is standing by back at RFM HQ. Kate, am I wrong in presuming right now that you've got mostly first quarter scores or maybe some scores from the afternoon window coming up at the half?
I've got early second quarter here and there.
What a fast-moving first half of action. And Kate, the time of possession
can I give you
dominated by Shrewsbury.
Can I give you 1 second quarter score for Bill Thomas?
Absolutely.
Do I want to hear it?
No, you don't. Millbury on top of Nipmuc, 41-0 in the second quarter.
Did you say 41?
41. That's an early second quarter score.
Wow.
All right, well, I don't want to hear any more scores about the Nipmuc game tonight, Kate. Sorry.
That's
Thank
brutal.
you.
For the Warriors.
Thank you, Kate. Holy,
I knew they were struggling.
Wow. 41 before halftime. Yikes. First down and 10 out of the Leominster timeout from the 46-yard line of the Colonials. The roll to the right for Lopez out of the gun. Avoids the rush, throws over the middle. It's Drinkwater who makes the catch. Down at his knees, rolling across the 31-yard line. It's a Leominster first down on a gain of 13, and the Blue Devils will spend a timeout to stop the clock 34 seconds before halftime with a 6-0 lead and threatening to double that up.
And that wasn't the prettiest ball that Lopez has thrown, but somehow Drinkwater found a way to go down, get it right off his shoe tops, and tumble to the turf and holding on to the ball at the same time.
Coach John Aloisi wants to talk to crew chief Bob Bonsi. He's out past the numbers on the near sideline, standing almost at the left hashes in the middle of the field, pleading his case, but it certainly looked to me like there was a great play. I have to presume he's not arguing the catch, maybe the blocking downfield. That play took a long time to develop, so perhaps a blocker got downfield. You have an illegal man downfield, uncalled.
Tell you, Drinkwater was so open till you wonder if he didn't push off on one of those cuts to create some separation. Either way, it's a first down for the Blue Devils. 34 seconds to work with here in the second quarter.
At the Colonial 31.5 yard line. Going from right to left. It's a shotgun set, 4 receivers, tight to the formation, 2 on either side. Lopez scans and now asks for the ball. 5-step drop, stands at the 40-yard line, dances, now uncorks, up the left side of the field, jump ball in double coverage, Drinkwater has it, and Drinkwater comes down with it. It's 6 points for Leominster. A 31-yard touchdown strike, 24 seconds before halftime, and Leominster has doubled up Shrewsbury. It's 12-0.
And Drinkwater just used his size right there, Todd. I think he's got about 6 inches on the 2 defenders back there. I'll leap both of them with both hands.
And there is a flag down back at the 43-yard line.
We're celebrating when we shouldn't be. Got to look back behind the play, and it's probably a holding call.
Wow.
Where we're looking at it. It's a spot foul.
The jump ball downfield was brilliantly played. Drinkwater actually mistimed his jump slightly. He was coming down. The defenders were still going up. And they are still marching this hold off, Bill Thomas. It's the only thing it can be is a hold or an illegal block.
It was a hold, I think, 5 yards
past the line.
Behind the line of scrimmage, Todd. Marked off 15 back. I tell you, that's a heartbreaker right there. Such a great play on both ends.
Ball all the way back to the 47-yard line. And Coach Aloisi is winding the clock on his sideline. 24 seconds left before halftime. Lopez on first and forever, back to pass. He's hit it. Loose football. Down at the Leominster 40. The Colonials have recovered. They begin the return from left to right. Cross the 40 to the 35. And the Colonials fans celebrate. Hold the phone here. 12 seconds before halftime. From jubilation for the Blue Devils to mis-celebration to now it's Colonial football.
What a turn of events, Todd. I can't say anything, but the Colonials just playing tough. Found a way to corral Lopez on that one. Knocked the ball out of his hands. Lopez trying to make a play there, just wasn't to be.
First and 10 for Shrewsbury at the Leominster 45-yard line at left hash, going left to right. It is 6-0. Leominster's lead, that is all, 12 seconds before halftime.
One thing they did do, Todd, is they put the ball back at the point of where I think the fumble was. The runner must
It looked like everything had gone down. Yeah, I would imagine,
got up and tried to scramble downfield. So Blue Devils did gain back about 15 yards in field position there.
First down and 10 for Shrewsbury. Leominster 45 at left hash. Welch, low snap, fields it. 5-step drop. Uncorks his own. Middle of the field, jump ball deflected, juggled. It's down at the 19-yard line, and the officials converge and say incomplete. Clock stopped on the incompletion. 4 seconds left before halftime. Time for one more play, but there is a flag down, and it is back at the 46-yard line. This came from Bob Bonsi, and he says we'll even up the score sheet. We'll signal a hold against Shrewsbury and mark that 10 yards off back behind the play.
Yeah, play off or not, but the ball fell incomplete. A lot of wrestling there, even on the ground. A Blue Devil and a Colonial, but wasn't going to matter in the end.
10-yard penalty enforced from the spot the flag went down. Takes the ball back across the Colonial 40 to the 37-yard line. 4 seconds left. They may run a play. It's immaterial. We're going to halftime in a 6-0 football game.
I'd be very surprised the Colonials tried to do something crazy here, but this is where crazy things happen, Todd.
A bizarre first half of action here at Adams Memorial Field, devoid of much at all.
A lot of defense.
Indeed. First and forever for Shrewsbury now. The snap. Welch fakes the give, keeps it himself, finds some open space, crosses 40, met in the open field by who else? Mackay Newton, and down he goes at halftime here at Adams Memorial Field at Central One Federal Credit Union Stadium. It is Leominster 6 and Shrewsbury nothing. I don't know where to go, Bill Thomas. I got to say, for a year that has been electrifying offensively, right now, the Colonials are doing a phenomenal job of neutralizing Leominster's big play offense.
Yeah, they are, but I think Leominster's doing as bad of a job converting their big play offense when they've had the opportunities, Todd. A couple of big missed plays that would have really changed the scoreboard around, maybe some momentum movement, but Colonials have done everything they've needed to do. They created that real important turnover, somehow got a holding call, got that touchdown taken off the board, and they're going into halftime only down by 1 score.
Shrewsbury PD lights it up as the Colonials sprint off to head toward their warm locker room. Leominster, meanwhile, gets to spend halftime down here on the track to the western side of Adams Memorial Field.
Are you going to have a visiting temporary clubhouse built when you become an athletic director? Along with your new and improved press box?
I was going to say press boxes, visiting locker rooms, Bill Thomas, on my mind as we move our way forward.
Maybe a visiting locker room under the elevated press box.
Always an option. All in one. I love it. Bill Thomas, an all-in-one, built by Bill Thomas Construction. Halftime here at Adams Memorial Field. It's Leominster 6 and Shrewsbury nothing. We continue here on RFM and Leominster TV in a moment. We'll break for the half. When we come back, Kate Robbins is standing by. She's got your first half stats and scores from around the region. So much more to come. 6-0 Leominster at the half. This is RFM Audio.
I'll never forget the day I decided to go out for the football team. Mr. Banks, the JV football coach and my history teacher, asked me to stay after class. I thought I was in trouble. He said, "Hey, Darius, have you thought about going out for football? I think you'd be great." Fact is, I never played football. Fact is, I never had anyone tell me I'd be great at something. So, with no experience at all, I signed up. And a week later, I padded up and was running drills on the field. I never was great, but playing high school sports was one of the greatest experiences of my life. I was accepted by my teammates, and I learned that when someone believes in you, you can believe in yourself.
Encourage a student you know to take part in a high school sport. This message presented by the MIAA and the Massachusetts Secondary Schools Athletic Directors Association.
Papa, why can't we telegraph while riding a horse?
Son, there ain't no one to blame but Jeffro. He was riding old Betsy the Stallion, tip-tapping away at his telegraph, when blam! Ran right into the side of the saloon.
Well, if Jeffro can't do it, neither should you. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear. Call me Papa Bear, because I'm grilling up dinner. Do you get it?
Yes, good job.
So, what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Is there a student athlete at your school that deserves recognition? Someone who's constantly representing your school as a good citizen and should be acknowledged. Now is your chance to nominate a student athlete for the MIAA Student Athlete of the Month Award. This award is presented monthly to 2 student athletes who display excellence in the areas of academics, athletics, and community service. Students in grades 9 through 12 who attend MIAA member schools are eligible to receive the award. Visit the MIAA website at miaa.net to nominate a student athlete today. The Massachusetts Interscholastic Athletic Association, building the future through educational athletics.
This is Bob Sosi, the voice of New England football, for the best high school football action in North Central Mass, featuring our award-winning broadcast team of Todd Robbins, Bill Thomas, and Kate Robbins. Keep it right here.
You're not mishearing it. It's halftime here at Adams Memorial Field on the campus of Shrewsbury High School. 6-0 Leominster's lead at the half here on RFM Audio and with our partners at Leominster TV. 6-0 Leominster on top of Shrewsbury. Kate Robbins is standing by back at RFM HQ. She's got your first half stats and scores from around the region. Kate.
All right, thank you so much, Todd. Let's first take a look at those statistics. Shrewsbury's side of the ball first. Team totals for the Colonials: 92 total yards of offense, 2 yards passing, 90 yards of rushing for the Colonials in 25 plays on offense, and they turn the ball over 1 time. If we take a look at Leominster's side of the ball, 145 total yards of team offense, 131 coming via the passing game, and 14 rushing yards for the Blue Devils. 21 plays on offense, 1 turnover. Leominster has only had the ball for 8 minutes of game clock. If we take a look at individual notable statistics, first for Shrewsbury, right now, TJ Welch is doing as much as he can. He has 14 rushes, 75 of the 90 rushing yards for Shrewsbury, so that's team high rushing in the first half. Welch is 1 of 4 passing for 2 yards. He's completed 25% of his passes to 1 receiver. That was Jacob Barranco. If we take a look at Leominster's side of the ball for individual notable statistics, team high rushing. Right now, Mackay Newton, 7 rushes, totaling 10 of the 14 rushing yards that the Blue Devils have. Osiris Lopez from the quarterback spot, 8 of 11 passing, 131 yards passing. He's averaging 16.4 yards per pitch and catch. He's completed 73% of his passes to 4 different receivers. Encarnacion has 3 receptions for 55 yards. Aguilar has a reception for 8 yards. Drinkwater has 2 receptions for 24 yards. And Mackay Newton has 2 receptions totaling 44 yards. The lone touchdown in the first half for either side came with 7 minutes and 21 seconds remaining in the first quarter. It was a 39-yard touchdown reception from Osiris Lopez to Mackay Newton. Extra point was blocked, so Leominster only up 6-0 thus far in this game. We'll go right into the around the region scores right now coming in. Blackstone Valley Tech and Assabet Valley Tech tied at the half at 14. That just went to the half, tied at 14. I've got still a second quarter score, Nipmuc at Millbury right now. Nipmuc trailing 48-0 in the second quarter. That one continuing to be a problem for the Warriors of Nipmuc. We have a first quarter score coming out of South at Auburn right now. South on top of Auburn, 14-6 there. We have a tie game in the first quarter. Murdoch and Air Shirley tied at 6. That's first quarter action there. A halftime score, Grafton at Shepherd Hill. Grafton right now on top of Shepherd Hill, 19-7 at the half. We are also scouring Twitter to try to get scores from that Wellesley Braintree game in Zavarian Catholic Memorial. I don't have a score yet, but I can let you know, Todd and Billy, that at least one of the players on Catholic Memorial as of 23 hours ago received an offer to play from the University of Georgia. So, you know, the SEC, #1 school in the AP top 25, not too shabby for Catholic Memorial, who potentially could be playing Leominster later on in the playoffs.
No, that's a great point, Kate. They are definitely, in the offing. I love that, the AP top 25. I mean, that's because they schedule in the AP top 25. That's how they end up with such high ratings for their opposition as well. I don't know. Give me a day. Give me a number. All I know is the one and only Jim Clark, now of the MIAA, and he is bracket man. He is the man who is responsible for all these numbers in all these sports, has promised to sit down for an interview, and he will walk us through this at some point in the near future. I will find a time where we can get together and we can ask him all these questions. I'm dying to know how you can explain some of these opponent values alone. The margin of victory, I've now figured out how to understand. The opponent value, though, you got me. That one is, I'm still far lost on the opponent value.
I kind of read between, it has to do with the cumulative number of points that your opponent has scored on the plus or minus, then divided by the number of games they've played, along with the number of games your opponents have played. That's how you get the gazintas to come out +0 whatever is at the end.
Oh, sorry.
I
just nodded off. I'm sorry. What?
I dove way too deep into that.
No, that's not you. That's them. It shouldn't be this hard. Look at them on the face. Look at it on face value.
But I
get it. You got to value it a little bit.
Add
but come
in
on.
all of the, and that's where you get the average this, the average that. It's all based on total points scored for and against. With you or against you, and whatever time zone you're performing in that day.
I was gonna say, how many full moons?
And whether the moon's in retrograde or not.
Oh my! No, Billy, that was definitely not I've fallen asleep for you. That's I've fallen asleep trying to understand.
I fell asleep trying to read it and understand, actually, so I don't blame you, Todd.
Halftime here at Adams Memorial Field in Shrewsbury. Out on the plaza tonight, Leominster has reemerged from their track locker room, and they are now stretching back out here out on the field as well. They've got a 6-0 advantage, and Bill Thomas, let's talk about it. Our partners at WLPZ bring us the impact play or impact player of the first half. So who do you got? What was the impact player? The impact player, I mean, the 6-0 score is pretty obvious on the scoring side of the sheet.
I'll tell you, this is a hard one to narrow down, Todd, and, as a cumulative, I got to give Shrewsbury's defense a lot of credit. But I give just as much credit to the offense for keeping Blue Devils' offense off the field. Even though Shrewsbury's offense did not put any points on the board, they got down to the 12-yard line. Their best drive of the game, the first half. To single out, to play of the game was the holding call on the second touchdown. I mean, I don't want to go there, but you had that look in your eye.
That is the impact play right now on the scoreboard. That is for sure.
I mean, but
the best defense was played by a yellow flag.
But let's give the Blue Devils defense just as much credit. I mean, they got a steady dose of T.J. Welch, and it was the bend don't break philosophy. I think let's just gang up on T.J. and. Not much effectiveness throwing the ball. What they're trying to do is not a surprise. Play between the hashes, keep the clock moving, string one out once in a while, but come back inside. So, I mean, I don't know if there was an impact play, but the impact play might have been the flag on that second touchdown.
Now, the impact play is brought to you by our partners at 95.1 FM WLPZ. If you're enjoying tonight's action, you can hear an encore presentation of every game broadcast, including this one, in its entirety, Saturdays at noon on Leominster's owned and operated 95.1 FM WLPZ. And let's drift right along to our mid-game adjustments. Bill Thomas, get out the old grease board, start diagramming it up. If you're on the one side and you're the Colonials, if there's one strategy you're not going to change this basically thin the football game out. You're going to continue to dilute and make more and more of this game disappear. The question is, how do they get on the scoreboard twice in order to win the game?
Well, they don't need to get on the scoreboard twice. All he needs once with a 2 on the backside.
Facts, that's true.
But it's getting in the end zone twice. I want to take a second to swing back to the impact play of the game.
Yeah.
Let's not discount what Mekhi Newton did in that first half.
Absolutely.
We're turning that corner for that busting that 39-yard touchdown for the only score of the game. Let's give Mekhi some credit.
Yes.
What credit is due. But I think that Leominster's going to get the ball here to start the second half. The math says they're going to get an extra touch with starting with the first touch. I think turnovers is really the key. whoever gets the extra touches here in this second half, the way the two defenses are playing, it's really going to be about an extra touch or two, and that's going to come from turnovers, either turnover on down, putting the ball on the ground, or an INT. I think the score is going to continue to be close. If Leominster can find a way to punch it in here, it might change Shrewsbury's offensive philosophy. But if Shrewsbury finds a way to hold, we're going to see more of what we saw in the first half.
Interestingly, I'd be amazed to say, Bill Thomas, the next score might win the football game.
It possibly could.
Like, that's as bizarre as that sounds.
Well, I don't see the Colonials playing that well from a 2-touchdown deficit, the game plan that we have seen up to this point. Really no ability to throw the ball down the field, 3 yards in a cloud of dust, 2 possessions per quarter. You know, I think it's imperative Blue Devils that they get the Blue Devils off the field, get the ball back, and do more of what they did in that first half.
Here comes the second half. Ball on the tee. Baracco approaches it. 40-yard line at our left. Sends the kick downfield. It skids across the 10-yard line all the way to the Leominster goal line. Brian Aguilar has to go back, pick it up, and then start a return from right to left. He's got the 5, 10, and then shy of the 15. Taken down at the 14-yard line is Brian Aguilar on the return of 13 yards for Leominster.
I tell you, how dangerous was that, Todd? That ball just skidded and died right there at the 2, the 1 maybe, and that was a live ball. That was dangerous.
Indeed, and that could have led to the next score of the football game. It did not, but it was brought out to the Leominster 15-yard line. So it'll be a Leominster first down and 10 to go from their own 15, going right to left, 6 seconds into the second half with a 6-0 lead. 3 receivers set. Shotgun snap for Lopez. Give it to Newton. Newton breaks down, coming across the line toward the 15, and maybe got back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play is his best bet. Call it second down and 10.
Yeah, not much going on right there, but I think steady dose of Newton is what we need right now. Try to get, once again, out from the shadow of the goal line. Seems like the Blue Devils have been down in that area all night, Todd.
This has certainly been the first game, Bill Thomas, I would say all season long, where Leominster has spent more time on their own half of the field than on the opposition's half of the
They've been losing that battle of the field position tonight for sure.
Shotgun set and 3 receivers. Here's the snap, and now Newton races out toward the right hash with some room. Coming from right to left, he's got the 20, taken down around the 25 after a gain of 9, and it is a Leominster first down.
Good job right there. Mackay doing what we've expected him to do the last few weeks. You know, he's gaining those tough yards. He has a 1 or 2 yard run, and then he busts one in the same hole for 8 or 10 yards. And like I said, I think this is the time of the game. You got to feed Mackay. You know, but you can't just stick it on the ground totally, because Colonials will adjust to that, Todd. You got to go over the top and loosen them up a little bit.
At some point right now, this vaunted Leominster offense is stuck in the molasses of the night. Here's the give for Newton. And Newton goes right to left this time to the middle of the field, across the 25, maybe the 26-yard line. Give him a gain of 1. It'll be second down and 9. They need their own 35 for a first down. Leominster wearing the road white tops, white bottoms, trimmed in royal blue numerals front and back. Blue Devils across the chest. The classic Leominster white helmet with white face mask, single royal blue stripe up the middle, and a heart-shaped E4 sticker for everything for Ricky, E4R sticker on their helmets in honor of Ricky White. Ricky Encarnacion catches the wide receiver screen down the line at the 25, sheds a defender up to the 30-yard line and advances up to the 32-yard line. Encarnacion wearing jersey number 7 tonight in honor of the passing of Ricky White. Gain of 8 on the play. It'll be third down and 2 to go.
Nice job by Ryan Keddy there, leading the charge from his cornerback position, stopping Ricky in his tracks after that gain of about 8.
Third down and 2. They need their own 35 for the first down. Shotgun set, formation tight to the formation. 2 receivers left. It is bunched up tight. Lopez gets a last-second signal and barks out a signal to the line. Now the snap. Give it to Newton. Newton gets a little block, turns it up at the middle of the field. 35, 40, and down at the Leominster 43-yard line as Mackay Newton timely rushes, finds the right hole at the end of the formation, and moves it forward for 9 more and a Leominster first down.
Nice job, and I tell you, Mackay has gotten really good at picking his hole. He doesn't just charge up the backs of his offensive linemen. Takes that little stutter step, but then he turns on the jets as soon as he's got this knack for turning sideways just enough as he slides through that sliver of a crack. and finds a way to positive yardage.
1st and 10, Leominster, their own 42-yard line just inside of left hash. The shotgun snap. It's Newton again. This time takes it around left side of the formation. 40-45 midfield and driven into the Colonial bench at the 47-yard line, right about 10. Sticks are already moving, and it is indeed 10.5 on a Leominster first down into Colonial territory.
You see Mackay take his time over there, put his hand on his blocker's back, let him know he's there, keep moving him forward. I'm coming, don't stop, and leads his way to a first down.
Leominster continues to move the sticks twice on this drive. 8:33 and counting to play here in the third quarter, and nursing their 6-0 advantage they'd like to add to. 3 receivers set, 2 tight to the boundary left. Back out of the gun, it's Lopez. Lopez takes it on the draw, now around the right end. He's got the 40, gets a block, 35, then the 30, and takes it out of bounds across the 25 at the 24-yard line. Great job there by Osiris Lopez to gain 22 with his legs and take what the defense gave him.
Wow, and he had that opportunity a couple times in the first half. I wonder if the coaches pointed that out to him. We're flooding that side with the wideouts. Once they clear out, look over there. You can pick up 20 with your feet just as easy as you pick up 20 with your arm.
First down and 10 for Leominster at the Colonial officially 27-yard line just inside of right hash. Shotgun snap, fake the screen, now goes out to the left. Undecided was Lopez, and he throws it at the toes of Encarnacion, incomplete.
Yeah, it looked like Ricky stopped at a spot there, but Lopez expected him to continue down the field, tried to lead him to no avail.
I think it was a busted play, Bill Thomas, because Lopez is talking with Newton, who came left on the screen and never turned around for the football.
Yeah, and he did a pump fake this way, turned around the other way. Kind of hard to tell what was going on, but definitely some confusion. You're right, Todd. Somebody stopped on the play. Didn't think they were in the pattern, and turned out they ended up being the receiver.
2nd and 10 from the 27. The shotgun snap and out of the gun. Give it to Newton. Racing laterally back across the 30. He's wrapped and tackled. He wants a flag, and he's not going to get it. It's a great defensive play by Jason Nickerson to bring down Mackay Newton for a loss of 7 on the play.
Certainly looked like he was inside the neck collar there, Todd, riding him to the ground as he spun him around, but no flags. Official didn't see it that way, but
it has gone,
we did, and most of the fans did.
It has gone uncalled all season long.
You're right, Todd.
That is a player safety rule, and it has gone uncalled often this year. You know what that means? In 2023, it'll be a point of emphasis.
It'll be a point of emphasis, exactly right. We'll see it more than we've seen in 5 years.
3rd and long, back at the Colonial 32 at left hash, going right to left. In at the running back spot, and it's Braden Martin. Lopez back to pass. Now he floods out following Martin. Flag is out behind the play. This play's coming back. Downfield. Pass is caught by Aguilar, and he's blown up across the 10 and down at the 7-yard line, but it's not going to matter. This is going to be a hold called against Leominster as the flag got flung in the backfield right around the 37-yard line.
Very reminiscent of that play we saw in the first half, Todd.
Another major gain neutralized by a flag.
5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. It's where the
it's a 10-yard hold called against Leominster. It was already 5 yards behind the line.
Back. Yep.
And the flag is down right about the 37-yard line, so mark it 10 yards. It goes to the Colonial 47-yard line. And once again, a big play for Leominster is neutralized by a flag.
Big play off a broken play, Todd, once again. And, you can only expect so much out of your offensive lineman once you start getting turned around a little bit. Sometimes you're going to get called on that. You grab a handful right when the official's looking at you.
And there is some confusion on the Leominster receiver corps as Caden Drinkwater was on the far side of the field looking for a signal from Coach Gates. Now he's got it on 3rd and forever. Hit as he throws his Lopez, gets it to Braden Martin, crossing the Colonial 40, and he's down around the 37-yard line, gained back what was enforced, the 10 yards, back to the 37-yard line, which was the point of the hold. It'll still be 4th down and extended here. Cooper Ackerman takes down Braden Martin on the play.
No, Lopez, Todd, that's what I'm showing you.
Oh, thank you.
He cleaned out Lopez after that play, Todd, and he got up and looked back at Lopez, and Lopez was on hands and knees trying to get the number of the truck.
And Ackerman is a fantastic linebacker, 6'4", 230.
Came in heavy
strength
and hot.
power.
Came in heavy and hot, unblocked, and tell you, got to give Lopez credit for hanging in there, though, and getting some positive yardage out of that.
Leominster needs the Colonial 17-yard line for a first down. 4th down and long from the Colonial 37. The shotgun snap. Find Encarnacion. Sheds a defender at the original line of scrimmage. Cross the 25, but he's stacked up at the Colonial 23-yard line. It'll be a turnover on downs. The defense holds for Shrewsbury, and the ball will go back to the Colonials. 5:50 to play in the third quarter, and still just a 6-0 Leominster advantage. It's a 17-yard gain. Lopez to Encarnacion, but
needed 20.
Yeah.
Didn't get it.
Coach Aloisi said neutralize the big plays. He was planning on his defense doing it. They've played admirably tonight, but the officials have been doing a great job of neutralizing big plays on both sides of the field.
Yeah, 2 plays for sure that we can count on, that we know for sure. But, Colonial stepping up right there. Encarnacion needed 20, only got 17. Turnover on downs. Colonials are coming back, still down 1 score in this third quarter. Is half gone.
1st and 10 Colonials, their own 22, coming left to right. Shotgun snap for Welch. Steady diet. Out to the left numbers. Avoids 2 levels of defense. Cross the 30 and out of bounds at the Leominster 32-yard line. Right about the mark for a first down. About 10 yards.
See if they're moving the chains, Todd. I think they will when they put this ball down. Get a look at it.
Yeah, they actually gave him 11. Put the ball down at the 33-yard line, and it's a first down for Shrewsbury.
Nice run right there by Welch. He's keeping him. Welch keeping him in the game right now, Todd, with his using his head, picking his spots, running with his head up.
Welch is 5'10", 180. He plays well over 6 feet and stronger than that 180 lets on.
I never see him put his head down either, Todd. He's always got his head up, looking to avoid a defender or find a new hole, new path.
Make a play. 1st and 10 from their own 33 at left hash, going left to right. 3 receivers in the formation. The shotgun snap is for Welch. Welch met immediately at the line of scrimmage, but does push beyond the defender across the 35 and down at the 36-yard line. They'll say his point of farthest progress is the 35, so it's a gain of 2. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
Tony Kendall there, good hit at the line of scrimmage, slow him up. Looked like he was on his way to a lot more than that, but Kendall filled that hole.
5:17 and counting to play here in the third quarter, and just a 6-0 Leominster advantage. Colonials wearing the home navy blue, tops and bottoms trimmed in Vegas gold numerals front and back. Colonials in the block letters in Vegas gold across the chest, and the classic Shrewsbury gold helmet with the navy face mask. 2nd down and 8 to go, their own 35-yard line, going left to right. It's the shotgun snap for Welch. Handoff is for Spiegel. Spiegel's got a lead block in front of him and some room. Cross the 35, then the 40, steps out of bounds at the 43-yard line. Great block in front of him by Evan Romano. Good for a gain of 6 for Spiegel.
Nice job right there, following his blockers, but hasn't been a lot out there wide all night, Todd. Blue Devils good job of stringing that out.
3rd down and short coming up here. Coach Aloisi changing some personnel off the sideline. Colonials will snap at their own 42. They need their own 43 for the first down. This one right in front of us here on the plaza. Big on big as they go to a goal line set. Welch the snap, gets a little push from behind, comes out of the line and gets met by the 3rd level of defense. It's Steve Diaz who gets in on the play and has to take down Welch.
And I don't know how Welch works his way through that mountain of flesh right there and humanity, and somehow he pops out the backside. Diaz there, and he was on his way to the end zone. Diaz didn't hold his ground.
Because it was wide open field on the left side of the numbers.
Tell you, that bunch is dangerous, but when Welch is plowing his way through that line and between the hash there, between his tackles, over his center, he just keeps moving. And then his fullback, his other running back come in on the backside and bust him free.
1st and 10 for the Colonials, their own 47-yard line, right on the edge of that block Shrewsbury ass in the middle of the synthetic turf down on the field. 3 receivers set, 2 wide to the left. The shotgun snap is for Welch. He becomes a decoy. Spiegel's got the handoff. Great job by Xavier Cora to grab a handful of jersey. Slowed down Spiegel enough, and in for the cleanup is Tony Kendall trucking in to take him down.
Yeah, nice job right there. Nothing out here on this corner. Blue Devils doing a good job on these sweeps, but somehow Cora fought off his block. Got in the backfield there, 5 yards deep, leads to a big loss.
Yeah, lost back across the 45 to the 43-yard line. 2nd and 15. They'll snap at their own 43. They need the Leominster 43 for a first down.
Colonials taking the whole 40 still.
3:15 and counting to play here in the third. The lone score is a first quarter touchdown on a screen pass, Lopez to Mekhi Newton for 39 yards, and that's been all she wrote. Baracco is the motion man at the snap of the ball. Rolling out to his left is Welch. He'll throw on the run, looking for Pittarino. Got a hand on it, but couldn't get his body square to make the catch. The pass will fall incomplete. It was in front of Encarnacion. He had bump coverage, did Pittarino, so he had the space, but he couldn't make the catch at the Leominster 35-yard line, incomplete.
That was Mema Elias out there on defense, Todd, I think. Oh, no, that was Encarnacion. You're right, they switched numbers. But I'm getting confused now. But down on the inside, too, Jared Viola had the underneath coverage, but the receiver worked his way in between both of them.
It was a matter of time before that happened.
I knew I was going to mix that up.
Well, somebody was going to do it. Third down and long. It's a great, great honor. Ricky Encarnacion wearing a 7 in honor of Ricky
wearing
White.
That 7 tonight, it's
to me, it just stands up down there on the
field. They all
field.
should have a 7 on their uniform.
Third down and 15. Back to pass. Looking over the middle of the field, it's Welch, and drops it in the breadbasket of the tight end, Cooper Ackerman, who gets up and says, Colonial first down across midfield at the Leominster 32-yard line. Great job by Welch. First time really back in pass formation, and he floated it through the air. Good for 18, finding Cooper Ackerman.
Tell you, great job right there, but took a little time to clear that zone out. Ricky a little late getting over there from a safety position. Nice pitch and catch right there, and Shrewsbury hasn't shown the ability to do that on a regularity tonight, and now they're catching the Blue Devils a little weak in coverage.
Play finished out of bounds, yet the clock continues to run. 2.5 minutes and counting to play here in the third quarter.
Sure, the Colonials won't complain about that
I'm
either.
Sure they won't. Bleed more time off the clock. It is an open wound out there right now. First and 10 at the Leominster 32-yard line at right hash, going left to right. Welch at a shotgun set. Ackerman, the tight end, shifts from right side of the line to left. Block on the snap, and here we go. Welch, middle of the field, pounds his way into the second level, across the 30 to the 25. Gains 7 on the play. It'll bring up second down and 3 to go.
Nice shot by Welch, running with his head up, picking that soft side over there to his left. Colonials' offensive line on that left end doing a good job sealing it off for him.
An hour and 23 minutes actual time to this point, 8:23.
We might be home by 9 o'clock.
On a Friday night, October the 28th. 6-0 Leominster's advantage, 1:38 and counting. And right now, Leominster's defense is being called upon here. They need to stop this forward momentum. Shotgun set for Welch. Motion man is Ackerman, shifts from left to right in the tight end spot. Here's the snap. And right behind him goes Welch, straight up the middle of the field, worked his way out to the right edge, crossed the Leominster 20 and down at the Leominster 16-yard line, and it is a first down for the Colonials on a gain of 8.
Nice job, Welch, right up the middle. Tell you, there's some big beef there that he's running behind. He's taking advantage of it.
Feels like a drive of destiny right now for Shrewsbury. They are just gashing the Leominster defense, and right now, you would think Leominster would have the time to make personnel swaps here as the Colonials are taking their time, shifting 2 or 3 players out of the game. They're certainly not running to the line and playing an up-tempo football game. First and 10 for Shrewsbury at the Leominster 16-yard line, going left to right. Welch checks the clock, 43 seconds left here in the third. Takes the shotgun snap, gave the handoff for Baldor. Baldor takes it across the 15 and down around the 13-yard line. Gains 4 more. It'll be second down and 6 to go. 30 seconds left here in the third quarter. Will they run another play on a 40-second play clock?
Something tells me from what we've seen tonight, they might sneak one more in, but I kind of doubt it, Todd. They're kind of doing a lot of standing around right now.
Indeed they are. Coach Aloisi turns toward his bench, waves his team over. That's the way the third quarter is going to come to a close, where we've been since the end of the first. 3 quarters in the books here from Adams Memorial Field at Central One Federal Credit Union Stadium. Through 3 quarters in this battle of Central Mass power, it is Leominster 6 and Shrewsbury nothing. Teams change ends in the all-important 4th and final quarter as we continue here on RFM Audio and Leominster TV. Kate Robbins standing by back at RFM HQ. Kate, time of possession's been the story thus far.
Time of possession absolutely has been the story thus far. Right now, Leominster's had the ball for about 13 minutes. And right now, this drive is already 6 minutes long. That means that 22 minutes of game clock. That's how long Shrewsbury has possessed the ball in this game. A reminder, first half is only 24 minutes long. So that means that Leominster is right now incredibly cold and not getting the ball all that often.
Indeed, that is correct, Kate, and they just continue to watch what has been a long time and feels like an eternity in this football game right now.
Colonials on about a 6-minute drive right here, Todd, to close out that third quarter. Continue to push towards the Blue Devils' end zone.
And they feel like the 6 points they need to tie this football game is just a, quite literally, matter of time. And then it is the follow-up. Coach Aloisi tends to go for 2 more often than not. So potentially they are playing for a 2-point lead. Meanwhile, they can kick a point after. Baracco is their kicker. So we'll see where it goes. Or can the Leominster defense make the stop? They've made them all year long. They'll be asked to make another one here. Fourth quarter begins with the Colonials going from right to left on 2nd down and 6, snapping from the Leominster 12. Welch with the carry, got some room, cross the 5, jump on his back does the defense, and they ride him down at the 1.5 yard line. Gain of 11 on the play, and it will be 1st down and goal to go Shrewsbury at the Leominster 1.5 yard line. 4 shots from the 1.5 yard line. This has got to have it for Coach Aloisi's bunch.
Yeah, Welch just picking his way behind his blockers up the middle. Nothing fancy, but doing a great job at it.
And here they come to the line.
Look at the beef behind him.
Oh,
if he doesn't
no
get
doubt
pushed,
about it.
Going to get driven in the end zone.
Welch with the snap. Initially stopped up, but it was only a matter of time. Across the goal line and in. The crowd is electric as they are into the end zone. 11:34 to play in the fourth. Shrewsbury has tied this football game at 6.
It's taken them 36 minutes to have something to cheer about, but they finally got it. The Shrewsbury Faithful has got 6 points to cheer about now.
And it looks like Coach Aloisi is going to send out Jacob Baracco for the point after attempt and an attempt to take the lead in this football game. Felix Pittarino does the holding for Baracco. Personnel problems. Balderlinden, the lineman, has to race over to the sideline. Good now, point after, kicking into the open end. Snap ball down, it's a line drive, it is deflected, point after is no good. Back upfield come the teams. Xavier Cora keeps us tied at 6 as he gets a hand on the football. 11:34 to play in the fourth and final quarter of regulation. It's Leominster 6 and Shrewsbury 6.
Quite unexpected, but we got a ball game now, Todd.
Indeed we do.
Been waiting 37 minutes for this, and now we got an 11-minute ball game, and not a lot of touches going on the rest of the game, maybe 2 touches each. So it's really about ball control, ball possession, and ball security going from here on forward.
So happy to have all of you along with us wherever you are here on RFM Audio across the region or around the globe, streaming via YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch, and with our television partners at Leominster.tv on the channels of Comcast or Verizon Cable, online at Leominster.tv. Our radio partners in Delay, 95.1 FM, WLPZ FM, or Tucka 56 Radio and Tucka56radio.com. We are all so pleased to combine to support the student athletes and institutions competing tonight as the legendary soundtrack of football in Central Mass continues right here on RFM Audio. Ball in the tee, 40-yard line at our right. Baracco sends it downfield. It whacks Reyes, who was the up man, right around the 27-yard line. It's now picked up from a dead stop. This is Encarnacion. Begins the return from left to right, crossed the 30 and stood up at the 35-yard line. Never taken down. They give him the 36 as his point of farthest progress. And it's Leominster 1st and 10 after a return of 11 yards by Encarnacion from a dead flat stop. 1st and 10 from their own 36-yard line at left half.
Yeah, Shrewsbury doing a good job in those kickoffs, making the Blue Devils return team chase the ball and cutting down on the opportunity to get set up a good return.
1st and 10, Leominster, their own 36-yard line at left hash. Leominster sorely needs to find some tempo in their offense. Every time they've had it, they have found a flag behind them. 1st and 10 from their own 36 going left to right. The snap. swing a screen to the motion man. It was Drinkwater. Gets a block in front of him from Encarnacion. It springs him across the 40 to the 45 and out of bounds at the 46-yard line. It's a gain of 12 and a Leominster first down.
Nice job right there in that little swing pass, using that motion man, get the defense moving. Try to get a mismatch there, get an odd number set up on the defenders.
1 minute gone by in the final quarter of regulation in a 6-all football game. Leominster with the possession. Believe Bill Thomas, and we'll confirm this with Kate after this play, maybe their 5th of the night. 1st and 10 from their own 46. Back to pass, it's Lopez. From his back foot throws, complete for Encarnacion across midfield. Loses 2 defenders across the Colonial 45, the 40, and taken down at the 37-yard line. It is enough for a Leominster first down for Encarnacion on a gain of 15. Kate Robbins standing by at RFM HQ. Kate, 5th Leominster offensive drive of the night? 6th offensive drive of the night. Thank you so much. Kate Robbins standing by back at HQ. Keeping an eye on the numbers for us.
Averaging 2 a quarter, Todd. I was going to put him at maybe their 7th touch on offense, but yeah, no more than 2 a quarter at best.
10-15 and counting to play here in the 4th quarter, and certainly this Colonial defense and this Colonial strategy tonight has been the best at limiting Leominster offense. 1st and 10, give it to Newton. Newton takes it out, stretched to the left, cross the 40 and down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play at the Colonial 37-yard line. And, I mean, Bill Thomas, I would say we haven't seen Leominster offensive futility like this since the Peabody game 5 weeks ago.
No, but, let's give the Colonials defense some credit. Joe McKenzie in there and, following Newton down the line there, got him before he could make his cut. Newton's been great at that tonight, just kind of picking his way through the line, getting into the second level. Not that time.
Correction, 3 weeks ago, week number 5 here in week 8 action. On 2nd and 10, Lopez, the shotgun snap, rolls out to his right and throws. Underneath he finds Encarnacion, who gets spun around twice, goes down to a knee, and then finished off at the Colonial 31-yard line. Gain of 6 on the play-ish. They're going to give him officially a gain of 5, and it'll be 3rd down and 5. They put the ball down at the 32-yard line of Shrewsbury.
Yeah, nice stick by the Colonial defender out here on the near side. Standing Ricky up before he could turn around, put a move on.
Leominster needs the Shrewsbury 27-yard line as they go from left to right for a first down. Back to pass. It's Lopez. Hangs in the pocket. Got some time. Over the middle. Encarnacion wide open. The umpire threw the screen in the defensive backfield. Encarnacion went into the baffles of the umpire and then found the football hitting his hand and then the ground incomplete.
That's a tough one. That might have been that's one Lopez wants back in, and Ricky Encarnacion both. But an easier play wasn't presented, but fortunately, the Blue Devils weren't able to convert on that one. Have to see what they can come up with on 4th down. That play was there, Todd.
Leominster's got the decision. They come right to the line. 4th down and 5. They need the Colonial 27 for a first down. Back to pass on a 4-receiver set. Lopez looks left, nobody there. Now waits over the middle of the field, finds Aguilar into open space across the 20 and dives toward the 17-yard line. The drive continues. What poise from the 15-year-old freshman Lopez to hang, keep the play alive, drifting out to the sideline, and wait until Aguilar presented himself for 15 yards and a first down.
Not only that, a gain of 15 yards, but running with his head up. Call this one, Todd.
Back to pass on first down. Jump ball in the end zone. Drinkwater up with it. He makes the catch. Comes down with it for a Leominster touchdown. But there is once again a flag out on the play toward the Leominster backfield. Lopez falls down to his backside in disbelief as once again Bob Bonsi's crew takes another touchdown off the board with a holding call.
I think they got him for a procedure. That was a weird spot, but this is only going to be a procedure call. Late flag, and
so it's an illegal formation, Bill Thomas.
I tell you, that flag didn't come out until that catch was being made down there. That flag was so late, Todd. I thought it was offensive pass interference. What I thought I saw.
Coaching staff over on Leominster's sideline getting admonished as they have a conversation, we'll call it heated, over along the Leominster sideline as they are not happy once again. That's another 6 points, 12 off the board for the Blue Devils tonight in flags.
And there's a lot of confusion. I saw the first down marker way back here beyond the 30. they've got it down there where it belongs now. First and 15.
Yeah,
but
first and 15.
Just tough turn of events.
Colonial 23, back to pass, go right back to it. Same play, jump ball, Drinkwater. Instead, it's Welch, the interception. He taps the sideline in the end zone for a touchback. And it's a turnabout once again. Leominster touchdown off the board. Follow-up play, interception. Shrewsbury football, first and 10 at their own 20. 8:10 to play in the fourth quarter. Leominster may not touch the football again tonight.
They might not, but you're right, Todd. Reminiscent of that touchdown taken off and that fumble on that follow-up play right here. Touchdown taken off the board, then a turnover on the next play. I tell you, a tough break for the Leominster offense here to swallow those plays, but you got to find a way to battle back here. Defense got to step up, pick the offense up.
This harkens back to the game played on April 2nd, 2021 in the COVID-modified season, a game Shrewsbury came back and won 14-12, where Leominster was penalized repeatedly out of position to compete in the football game. On first down and 10, back to pass, Welch out of the backfield, finds Barranco, eludes the defense with space, 30, 35, go 40, taken down at the 44-yard line. It's a gain of 25, and Shrewsbury is rolling here.
And they're feeling it. You're right, Todd. They're feeling a little bit of momentum on their side. Get that turnover, big play on offense, get out the shadow of their end zone.
If you weren't with us for the countdown to kickoff, let's make clear what is at stake here. Both teams need a win tonight to cement their place in the postseason power ratings. Shrewsbury 13th in Division I. Win or lose looked like they were pretty good for being cemented in that spot. Leominster 11th in Division II. Needed a win tonight to maybe improve their circumstances. Right now at 11, if they stayed there and everything holds serve, they'd be going to Catholic Memorial next week.
Yeah, trying to mix up their seedings on what their away placement's going to be, but it's all about tonight, and it's all about building momentum for next week, Todd. Great job right there. Antoine Lino Diego there in on the defensive stop.
And no gain on the play, second down
that, right?
and 10.
66, do we see a 66 out there?
Yeah, Antoine Lino Diego, the sophomore defensive lineman, 5'11", 250. Leominster at this point looks gassed on the defensive side, Bill Thomas. I'd be surprised with no numbers over there. You'd be surprised with nobody being out there. They need the depth. Bringing 8 into the box, token pressure on the outside, fake the give. Welch kept it himself, slipped through an arm tackle, crossed midfield and down at the 47-yard line.
Brian Aguilar had him at the line of scrimmage. Welch, he's got a way of shaking his shoulders, and it's almost like his shoulder pads are greased up, Todd. He shakes that first defender off, picks up additional yards, gained about 8 on that. Let's give him 7.
Third down and 3 to go. Shrewsbury's got the football to the Leominster 48-yard line. 2 minutes have already gone by on this possession. 6:10 and counting to play here in the fourth quarter. 6-all. Shrewsbury with the football, the momentum, and everything going their way right now.
Got to watch for Welch up the middle here, but he's going to pull one out eventually.
Under center, he takes the snap, gets the push from the back line toward the Leominster 45. As the pack fell over, the mark is right now on the 45-yard line, and the signal is first down Shrewsbury, and the drive continues.
And I don't know if we should give Welch those yards or his 2 fullbacks that are behind him pushing him, but isn't there a flag situation there by pushing the runner or
aiding the runner? We go back to the Bush push. USC and Notre Dame.
Play, they run that, and it just doesn't look right. Doesn't look right.
I understand the argument. Leominster's defense, who has stood up, been up to the task all year long, feels like they face a tall task here. The give inside was for Keeley. He finds some space, cross the 45 and down around the Leominster 42 after gaining 3. It'll be second down and 7.
It's feeling more and more like this might be the last possession of the game here, and the clock's just
5:05 and counting.
Trickling away.
The clock literally dissolving, and Leominster's offense is powerless, standing on their own sideline, just waiting, watching, and pleading for another opportunity with the football.
Yeah, because they squandered their best opportunity in the second half, Todd. So looking for the defense to give them another one.
2nd and 7, from the Leominster 43, the shotgun snap. Welch up the left hash. Defense gets to him, brings him back across the 40. Football came out. It's not going to matter. The whistle had already gone off that he was considered stopped at the Leominster 38-yard line. Leominster crowd pleading for it, but not going to get it.
Quickest whistle all night, Todd.
3rd and 3 is where the Colonials are at the 38-yard line.
Which picked up about 4 on that keeper.
They need the Leominster 35 for another reset. And the inevitable starts to stack up as we wind down to the final 4 minutes of the fourth quarter. Leominster's defense needs a miracle. Steve Diaz goes over to the sideline, talks to his defensive coordinator, Dennis Manoni. Now comes back toward the formation. Shotgun set, tightly wound formation with 3 receivers. Pinarino is the motion man. Snap, Welch keeps it himself. Defense, and he just plows straight up the left hashes, cross the 35, and down to the 36-yard line. It's a gain of 6, and Welch just keeps gashing the Leominster defense.
I tell you, he's like a bull, just straight ahead, right into the line of scrimmage, following his beef on the offensive line, and they're doing the job. Finding a way to push the Leominster defensive linemen back on their heels and giving Welch just that little forward momentum he needs to get the pile falling backwards.
Another 90 seconds are going to come off the clock here. This snap will come somewhere around 3 minutes left in regulation. 6-6 our score. 3:15 and counting to play here in the fourth. Colonials with the football, command, and domination of the clock right now. 3 receivers set. Tight to the formation, 2 to the boundary left. The low snap, Welch fields it, puts it in the hands of Baldor, who races out to the right edge. Round the right edge to the 30-yard line. Defense stands him up there. They play the whistle. It's a short gain on the play. 1, maybe 2 on the play. The mark is across the 30 at the 28-yard line. Favorable, to say the least.
Met by Ricky Encarnacion there, but not before. They're giving him a solid 5.
2nd down and 6 to go. The ball is across the 25 at the 23-yard line. 2.5 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter, and the Leominster coaching staff, as well as their fans here in front of us on the plaza, apoplectic at this point. 2nd down and 6 to go. Ackerman's the motion man, sets up on the left of the formation. Shotgun snap for Welch. Welch ripped from behind. Gio Roman made the diving tackle to get his hands on Welch and bring him to the ground and bring up a 3rd down and 5 to go.
Nice job by Roman. He's been coming around his outside spot there. I think when I called 66 a couple plays ago, it was actually 55, Gio or Roman out there. But he's just been very active off his defensive end all night.
And now a 3rd down and a short 5, and Coach Devin Gates spends a timeout, stops the clock with 1:52 to play here in the fourth quarter. A 6-all football game. The way Shrewsbury's been going, Bill Thomas, I'm not sure that they can cover this distance without a couple of big plays. So at this point, help me with the strategy. You got to go downfield.
You got to go downfield, and I think that's what Coach Gates might be talking about. But I tell you, Welch has been so close to busting something up the middle. You still got to watch for that power move up the middle, and you got to shut that down. Look for him to come out of that, and maybe out of that bunch, they might all of a sudden bring a surprise here and try to get downfield out of that. But I think you got to be pressing forward if you're Shrewsbury.
Leominster side of the field defensively right now looks absolutely spent. The tank is literally on empty.
Kate nailed it when she talked about the time of possession, and that means that the defense is out there. And some of these kids are going both ways. They're playing practically. They're on the field practically the entire game. And when you spend so much time on defense, it just takes so much out of you on offense.
6-all football game, 1:52 to play in the fourth quarter. Leominster's best hope at this point is to try to win in overtime. They need either a turnover to separate Shrewsbury from the football in a big play, or to try to stop up the Colonials from scoring here at the end and force overtime. But it's going to take a defensive stop. 3rd down and a short 5 from the Leominster 27-yard line. Ackerman switches from left to right. The shotgun snap. Welch follows Ackerman. Reaches toward the 25-yard line. They will give him the 25 1/2. It is a 4th down and 3 to go.
Pickup of about 2 there. But big play, biggest play of the game for both teams right here as far as how it's going to affect the outcome, Todd.
Final 93 seconds of regulation in a 6-all football game.
And we're not going to get another snap till under a minute, I'm guessing. And Colonials almost look like they're playing for a tie right here in overtime.
Coach Aloisi
no
looks.
Rush.
Remember the overtime rules. Coach Aloisi will spend the timeout. He asked for it twice. Now the officials will give it. 1:14 to play here in the fourth quarter. 6-all football game. And Coach Aloisi will have a conversation with his team. Overtime rules, Bill Thomas. Remember, it ends. Both teams get to possess the ball. They'll play on one end of the field. There'll be a top and a bottom, and that will be it. Somebody scores and somebody doesn't. Game over. Both teams score. We play another end. It becomes like innings at that point.
Now they start to 10, Todd?
It'll be 10-yard line and
at the 10. So I think,
4 downs.
and if
That's
I'm
it.
Coach Aloisi, I'm playing to put myself in that position because they really haven't had much trouble making 10 yards in a 4-down situation.
They have a longer shot right now.
Right, and I tell you, I think that they got to play to run the ball up the middle, get into overtime. They're going to run Welch up the middle 4 plays and try to score that way. I think that's really their best shot here going forward. Not that they're not going to try to score here, but I don't think overtime's a bad thing if you're a Shrewsbury Colonial.
Coach Aloisi and his coaching staff had a game plan. They have executed it perfectly to this point, and that's a credit to their team. 4th down and 4 to go. They need the Leominster 23. Welch is back to pass over the middle, in and out of the hands of Ackerman, and incomplete. Woo! Ackerman lays down on the turf, pounding the turf. It's a turnover on downs. The clock actually went out. It has now gone back up. 1:10 to play in regulation. Leominster has the football, but Bill Thomas, Leominster's offense has been bleak tonight, to say the least.
Has, and,
Do you go big play here? That's what you need.
Let's give Josh Cormier some credit to get in the middle of that play too, Todd, right in the passing lane. But you're right. I kind of feel like they're going to go downfield hard here 3 plays in a row and, hope that jump ball pays off without a flag. I really don't see any other way out of this, Todd.
4 receivers split evenly in the formation. 1st and 10 at their own 25 for Leominster. Lopez hangs, got some time. He will roll, keep the play alive, passing the numbers. He's got to tuck and run up the right sideline, 30-35, steps out of bounds at the 39-yard line. It's a Leominster 1st down, and the clock is stopped. 1 minute flat left here in the fourth quarter, and Leominster has 61 yards in front of him after that gain of 14.
Nice job by Lopez. That's what he's got to do. If his receivers are going to clear out certain areas and he's got an open field ahead of him and he can take that sideline, it gets you down the field.
Coach Gates sends in the play. Steve Diaz gives a great signal there to his team. Stay composed. Stay composed as they come into this 4 wide receiver set, a pair on either side. Lopez back to pass, flushed by Ackerman, has to step up. He's surrounded by Colonials. He hangs on to the football, and the whistles will blow, and he will maintain possession. It is a coverage sack downfield. Clock will now stop on a Leominster timeout. Blue Devils back at their own 35-yard line. 48 seconds left in regulation.
Cooper Ackerman just came flying around that left side there, and as soon as Lopez started running, but he's flailing the ball around, it just looked like something bad was going to happen. Somehow he got the ball put away before Ackerman took him to the ground, got a little help from Joe McKenzie, but I thought for sure that ball was going to end up bouncing on the turf, Todd.
7th offensive possession of the night for Leominster. And Kate, you're standing back there. Leominster has had games this year with total offense 500-plus yards. What is Leominster's total offense number right now, Kate?
277, 205 of which have been by the aerial attack. Only 72 rushing yards in 41 plays, 3 turnovers for the Blue Devils, but Shrewsbury's had the ball for 29 and a half minutes.
Absolutely incredible. Kate, thank you so much. Standing by with those numbers back at headquarters tonight, and here we are. 2nd down and long.
You look at that 200 yards, that's all been between the 20s, Todd, for the most part for the Blue Devils, except that 39-yard pitch and catch for that TD.
Every time they've gone with a jump ball in the end zone, it has been flagged and called back. 2nd down and long, 4 receivers set out of the gun. Lopez rolls out to his right. He's pointing. He needs a block. Aguilar will throw the block, and it springs him across the 45. He got hit, and there is no flag. He was at least 3 yards past the boundary, and the Leominster's crowd is pleading their case, and there will be no 15-yard flag forthcoming, but the clock will stop. 39 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. Another player safety rule, Bill Thomas, that has been loosely enforced, to say the least, throughout the year.
Speechless, Todd.
3rd down and 3 to go. Leominster needs their own 49 for a first down. Snapping from their own 46 at right hash, going left to right. 4 receiver even split. Newton in the backfield with Lopez. Snap. Lopez looks left. Now forced left. Runs and throws. Underneath. Pass is caught by Ricky Encarnacion. Out of bounds at the Colonial 45-yard line with a Leominster first down. And the clock stopped. 30 seconds left here in regulation.
Nice pitch and catch right there, Todd. Gain of about 10, but best thing Ricky did, he turned that in like he did in the first half. He immediately turned it back out. Smart move right there by senior captain. Gives the Blue Devils new life here with 30 seconds to go. They got 2 or 3, maybe all 4 plays here in this down.
1st and 10 for Leominster at the Shrewsbury 45-yard line at left hash. Going left to right here at Adams Memorial Field tonight. Shotgun set. 4 receivers in the formation. Back to pass, it's Lopez. Hanging, pocket will collapse. He's going to flush. He will work his way out to the left. Got sideline. Cross the 35, then the 30. Still on his feet, passing the 25. And he's out of bounds at the 23-yard line. Osiris Lopez stops the clock after a big gain. 21 seconds left in regulation. It's 1st and 10 Leominster at the Colonial 24.
You know, and I think we're seeing Osiris mature in front of our eyes, Todd. Almost all season, he's been trying to force plays down the field with his arm, even when that run is there. He's finally running with his head up, tucking, getting what the defense is going to give him, and using that sideline to his advantage.
1st down and 10 for Leominster at the Shrewsbury 24-yard line at left hash. Shotgun set, trips to the wide side right of the formation. Lopez passing out signals. Now scans the line, asks for the ball, looks for the slant. And it is incomplete. That went to nobody in particular. Encarnacion was late on the slant, and Diaz had the go pattern up the middle, and he never turned around.
He never turned his head, and I think Diaz was who he was looking, trying to go right shoulder there, but fell incomplete. No defenders in the area, so harmless. Only burned off about 5 seconds off the clock.
17 seconds left here in regulation. 2nd down and 10 to go. 24-yard line of Shrewsbury going left to right. 3 receivers in a trip formation wide to the right. Lopez back to pass, hangs the pocket. There's the slant, finds Encarnacion, cross the 10, 5, goal line. An apparent Leominster touchdown. There are no flags on the field. The bench erupts, and Leominster officially has 12 points.
Oh my God, Todd. And how appropriate. Mr. Excitement right there drags a couple of defenders in the end zone and gets a score with 8 seconds left on the clock. Blue Devils take the lead, 12-6.
Leominster
wow,
has managed the clock expertly all season long. And this is another textbook 2-minute offense that will score, and will score with authority.
All on Lopez's legs right there. I think the first 40 yards of that drive gained on the ground by Lopez on pass coverage. But right there, used his arm. Great job on 4th down when he had that 4th down play in the middle. Did it mostly with his legs. Unbelievable drive right there.
Coach Devin Gates, sensing the pandemonium and the importance of the next play, spends a timeout. 8 seconds left in regulation, pending a point after touchdown. 12-6 is Leominster's advantage. I'm still waiting to see if they could possibly flag and take the 6th down.
Maybe
I believe we've passed that certain point. Absurd as that may sound, it has been an interesting night.
It feels like it still
when
could
12
happen.
points have come down off the board.
It feels like it still could happen, but you're right. And I wonder if they're thinking about going for 2 here, Todd. We'll have to see what kind of set they come out in, but that might be the they're going to go for the 1.
They are going to go for the conventional point after. Aguilar will hold for Dan Thompson, kicking to the school side or the east end zone here at Adams Memorial Field. Aguilar, double count, 3 asks, now the ball is down, flag is high in the air, the point after is no good. We'll await the signal. The officials will have a conversation. Either way, if it goes against Leominster, they're not going to get another shot at it. The try will be no good.
And that looks like what happens. coming off the field. So.
That's not an official signal, but the point after point is that is no good. So back up the field come the teams. 8 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. Leominster with a 12-6 lead is the important headline. And Bill Thomas, they've waited, took 3 touchdowns to get 6, but they finally got themselves to a 12-6 football game.
Yes, they did, Todd. And, the officials couldn't find a reason to throw the flag. I just wish when they do throw the flag, they'd let us know why they threw it. That's all.
It makes it a lot easier to explain to the audience.
Don't just pick it up and put it in your pocket. Help us out. That's all we're asking. Just help us out. You're going to take the time to pull it out of your pocket. Tell us why.
Kate
but
Robbins,
you're right. Three chances, 3 shots they finally get when it stays on the board.
Quickly, Kate Robbins, drive summary for Leominster there in a beautifully executed 2-minute offense.
7 plays, covering 1 minute of clock, covering 75 yards. The touchdown was for a 24-yard touchdown reception by Ricky Encarnacion. From our vantage point, it looked like they waved off the flag.
All right, Kate, thank you so much. So the flag on the point after was taken off the board.
Did I hear Kate just defend the officials?
I don't think it was so much a defense. I think it was trying to clarify because Bradley's view might be the best view of the night.
Could be. I agree.
Thompson on the approach. Bangs it off of an up man at the front line. There's a loose football. Who has come up with it? Leominster's certainly bidding for it.
Looks like Ricky,
no signal as of yet.
I think Ricky has it.
Still no signal. Still no signal. It hit an up man. It's a live ball. Leominster is celebrating, but the officials have still not made it official. Conversation continues between the 2 line officials who were on the play. And now Bob Bonsi says that's a Leominster football.
Way to go. They had to talk about it, but they got it right. Colonials will not get one last play here to try to pull something out of the fire.
And Leominster celebrates. 4 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. A 12-6 lead. A kneel down is all that is left. And Leominster will close out the win and stop a 6-meeting win streak for the Colonials.
Fans have finally got something to cheer about.
Absolutely, as does the coaching staff as well. Hey, this is what good teams do, Bill Thomas. They get themselves in difficult spots, and they play their way out of it.
Found a way to win is the only way to put it.
Snap.
On a big night.
The kneel down. Blue Devils off the sideline to celebrate. Leominster, a 7-1 football team at the end of 8 weeks of regulation with a 12-6 win tonight.
And showing some love, the team. Osiris Lopez just fell on his back after that final snap, and half the team came over and hugged him on the ground, along with some coaching staff, too.
Officials and coaches have to pull players apart at the end of this one. Conversations continue to ensue. There's a lot of respect between these 2 coaching staffs, and certainly this rivalry digs deep. These are 2 rich traditions of athletics here in Central Mass. You wouldn't have it any other way in this mid-watch battle. Leominster, with the win tonight, will get to raise a mid-watch A banner.
Undefeated in the league. Been a while since that's happened.
Certainly.
And a banner's a banner. It's still bragging rights for your particular league. I don't care if it's 1 team or 10 teams in the league. You come out on top and you have that undefeated league season. It's well worth bragging about.
The emotions are pouring out of the Blue Devils here after a week that has just been filled with ups and downs. It has been an emotional week. These players are emotionally spent, and tonight they got themselves a 12-6 victory in comeback fashion.
And I think this is the kind of game the Blue Devils need to going into the playoffs. It's been a lot of rose petals and rainbows and everything coming up roses, and you talk about fighting through adversity. I think the Blue Devils showed that they can do that tonight. I don't care who the opponent is.
In this 36th meeting of Leominster and Shrewsbury, Leominster takes the 12-6 win, an all-time series lead of 26 wins, 10 losses for Leominster, but neutralizes a 6-meeting win streak for Shrewsbury. Leominster picks up their first win against Shrewsbury since 2015.
Second time, 2 weeks, they've broken 6-game losing streaks to rivals, and it's great to see. Great way to move on into the playoffs starting next week. Now we got to wait and see who their opponent is.
It'll also level the series since 2010 at 8-all as well, to go along with Leominster's series lead of 26 wins and 10 losses since this series began in 1990. 12-6 Leominster is a winner tonight here at Adams Memorial Field. They will head into the postseason. They will wait for the numbers to come together, and they will find out who their opposition is, where they play. At 10 a.m. on Monday, the MIAA will release their brackets. We'll wait to see where they go, and we'll be right there along with them here at RFM Audio, Leominster TV, with our partners WLPZ, as well as our partner Tucker 56 Radio. What a night. What a night.
Unless we have to go to Peabody, or are we just going to show up and stake out one of those 13 windows, Todd?
Well, Bill Thomas, the LTV studio looks just as good if we have to go back to Peabody as well. We thank you so very much for joining us here tonight. We're just getting started. Post-game's coming up for those of you joining us here on RFM Audio. If you're on your way home, you can pick us up. YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitch. You can listen to us on your way out. For those of you joining us on Leominster TV, it's been a great night with you. It's time for you to grab your smart-enabled device, open your favorite digital media app, and we've got so much more to come here on RFM Audio. Our post-game extras coming up next. Kate Robbins is standing by with the final numbers tonight. The most comprehensive scoreboard around the region as she aggregates the internet and brings us the post-game scores. We'll also award our game balls tonight. All that to come as we'll continue with our post-game extra here from Adams Memorial Field. For those of you joining us on Leominster TV, thank you so very much for your time this week. Stay tuned. Leominster TV will join us in this postseason to come. Stay with us for more information on that. For Bradley Bedard, Bill Thomas, Kate Robbins back at HQ. I am Todd Robbins, saying so long to those of you joining us on Leominster TV. We'll see you over on RFM Audio for our post-game extra, which is coming up next. Once again, the final score here from Adams Memorial Field. Leominster 12 and Shrewsbury 6. This is high school football on RFM Audio.
LTV Action Sports is brought to you in part through the generous support of these Leominster sponsors. MP Crowley Company Incorporated, www.mpcrowleyinc.com.